Rapid Chevrolet buys cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at rapidchevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Denny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City.
You're doing a lot. Maybe you're starting a family, building a home, growing a business. Security First Bank knows your life is constantly changing. And while our commitment remains constant, we're changing too, with tools, technology, and new products from people you trust. For all the ways you're changing and all the things you're doing, we're the bank. Security First Bank. Member FDIC.
Your first car. It might not have been perfect, but that didn't matter. You loved it because you worked hard for it. You took care of it, and it took care of you, your friends, and maybe that someone special. And through it all, we were there working with you, for you, to make sure it was a smooth ride. Farmers Union Insurance. More choices, great rates, local agents. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
When you ask for Black Hills Surgical Hospital, you ask for someone who believes in hospitality. You ask for someone who treats everyone like a VIP and believes the absolute best shouldn't cost more and makes you feel comfortable, even when you are vulnerable. You ask for someone who cares about the little things as much as the big things. You ask for someone who treats you like you are loved, because you are. Black Hills Surgical Hospital. Ask for us by name.
Honda True. Discover 3 tiers of vehicle coverage that work for you. Only at Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda. The inspection is just the beginning. Honda certified pre-owned means peace of mind with incredible benefits like 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage, up to 2 complimentary oil changes, 24/7 roadside assistance, inspection report, and 3-day exchange option. Check out all the benefits and search inventory at honda-true.com or come by Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda in Rapid City.
How do we solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems? Our doctors and specialists collaborate, sharing their vast knowledge and Mayo Clinic's unique expertise. It's this working together that helps solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems. Monument Health, proud member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer from Denny Menholt Toyota. Use your phone, it's fast and easy. Pull up our website, click on Value Trade-In, scan your VIN and tell us about your car. You are on your way to a no-hassle, no-commitment cash offer on your vehicle in under 5 minutes. Bring your vehicle and your Kelly Blue Book.
Rapid Chevrolet buys cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at rapidchevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Denny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City.
You're doing a lot. Maybe you're starting a family, building a home, growing a business. Security First Bank knows your life is constantly changing. And while our commitment remains constant, we're changing too, with tools, technology, and new products from people you trust. For all the ways you're changing and all the things you're doing, we're the bank. Security First Bank. Member FDIC.
Your first car. It might not have been perfect, but that didn't matter. You loved it because you worked hard for it. You took care of it, and it took care of you, your friends, and maybe that someone special. And through it all, we were there working with you, for you, to make sure it was a smooth ride. Farmers Union Insurance. More choices, great rates, local agents. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
When you ask for Black Hills Surgical Hospital, you ask for someone who believes in hospitality. You ask for someone who treats everyone like a VIP and believes the absolute best shouldn't cost more and makes you feel comfortable, even when you are vulnerable. You ask for someone who cares about the little things as much as the big things. You ask for someone who treats you like you are loved, because you are. Black Hills Surgical Hospital. Ask for us by name.
Honda True. Discover 3 tiers of vehicle coverage that work for you. Only at Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda. The inspection is just the beginning. Honda certified pre-owned means peace of mind with incredible benefits like 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage, up to 2 complimentary oil changes, 24/7 roadside assistance, inspection report, and 3-day exchange option. Check out all the benefits and search inventory at honda-true.com or come by Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda in Rapid City.
How do we solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems? Our doctors and specialists collaborate, sharing their vast knowledge and Mayo Clinic's unique expertise. It's this working together that helps solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems. Monument Health, proud member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer from Denny Menholt Toyota. Use your phone, it's fast and easy. Pull up our website, click on Value Trade-In, scan your VIN and tell us about your car. You are on your way to a no-hassle, no-commitment cash offer on your vehicle in under 5 minutes. Bring your vehicle and your Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer to Denny Menholt Toyota. See you soon at Denny Menholt Toyota, Rapid City.
It might not have been perfect, but that didn't matter. You loved it because you worked hard for it. You took care of it, and it took care of you, your friends, and maybe that someone special. And through it all, we were there working with you, for you, to make sure it was a smooth ride. Farmers Union Insurance. More choices, great rates, local agents. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today. Your first.
When you ask for Black Hills Surgical Hospital, you ask for someone who believes in hospitality. You ask for someone who treats everyone like a VIP and believes the absolute best shouldn't cost more and makes you feel comfortable, even when you are vulnerable. You ask for someone who cares about the little things as much as the big things. You ask for someone who treats you like you are loved, because you are. Black Hills Surgical Hospital. Ask for us by name. When you ask,
we all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change. We all want to.
Denny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet buys cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at rapidchevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Danny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City. Danny Menholt.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements. Hi, this is Nate Brown reminding you to join the Nate Brown Show live weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. It's Rapid City's sports talk show and Rapid City's only call-in radio show. With big-name guests from across the country to the local sports coverage you just can't get anywhere else. Join the conversation every weekday for thought-provoking sports talk. This is your show. Don't miss the Nate Brown Show from 4 to 6 p.m. on 106.7 FM and 1150 a.m. And stream us all the time at foxsportsrapidcity.com. Hi,
My kid wrecked his car, his third car. The kid needs a car. We need the kid to have a car. What did I do? I begged my insurance agent for mercy. That's another story. Then I went to Copper Motors in Rapid City and found a safe, reliable car.
Copper Motors is a small, trusted dealership specializing in safe, quality pre-owned vehicles. No pressure, no hassle. Each vehicle is inspected, serviced, and detailed with a warranty like no other. Copper Motors, corner of Campbell and Omaha.
Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer from Denny Menholt Toyota. Use your phone. It's fast and easy. Pull up our website, click on Value Trade-In, scan your VIN, and tell us about your car. You are on your way to a no-hassle, no-commitment cash offer on your vehicle in under 5 minutes. Bring your vehicle and your Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer to Denny Menholt Toyota and get cash or trade-in credit today. See you soon at Denny Menholt Toyota, Rapid City.
You're doing a lot. Maybe you're starting a family, building a home, growing a business, or investing in your legacy. Security First Bank knows your life is constantly changing. And while our commitment remains constant, we're changing too, with tools, technology, and new products from people you trust. For all the ways you're changing and all the things you're doing, we're the bank. Security First Bank. Member FDIC.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch the TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. I'm State Farm agent Scott Carlson right here in Rapid City, and I can switch you over and you can start saving today. Me and my team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just call me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson. Want the real deal? Like a good neighbor? State Farm is there. Switching is easy.
At Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, we are here to help you make your comeback. Our team is standing by to diagnose and treat your injury with some of the most advanced treatment options available and same-day appointments. Monument Health practitioners work closely with our therapists and physicians in communities throughout the Black Hills, with locations in Rapid City and Spearfish. Visit monument.health/orthopedics for more information. That's monument.health/orthopedics for more information.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with Colton, who's right here in the area. And a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of Colton today, and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
The cars, trucks, and SUVs you're looking for are at Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda. Shop imports and domestics, many local one-owner trade-ins, plus the area's best selection of pre-owned Hondas and Honda certified pre-owned. With qualified credit, buy with no money down, and get financing available as low as 1.99% APR. Great prices and low finance rates make now the best time to buy. See Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda or rushmorehonda.com. Finance rate available on select Honda certified pre-owned. Length of contract is limited. The cars,
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
Star Spangled Batter on Jackson Boulevard in Rapid City, South Dakota. Famous for their delicious cakes, cupcakes, and other tasty baked goods. But did you know they're the only bakery in town to offer free consultations? Not to mention free samples when planning your big or small wedding. They also take special orders for that special party for that special someone. Check out their daily specials on Facebook or call ahead to grab some goodies for the office on your way to work. Star Spangled Batter is a proud sponsor of Rapid City sports and activities on liveticket.tv.
Would you buy your insurance from a cartoon character?
What's up, Doc?
Cartoons are good for a laugh, but when you're in an accident or you need your home covered and need help, it's no laughing matter. That's why you need a real person, like Lance at Van Z Insurance Associates. It's not just simple insurance either. Lance has you covered with home, life, auto, and business. Van Z Insurance is your place to call. Stop by today or give Lance a call at 605-393-2399.
Your first car. It might not have been perfect, but that didn't matter. You loved it because you worked hard for it. You took care of it, and it took care of you, your friends, and maybe that someone special. And through it all, we were there working with you, for you, to make sure it was a smooth ride. Farmers Union Insurance. More choices, great rates, local agents. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today. Your first.
When you ask for Black Hills Surgical Hospital, you ask for someone who believes in hospitality. You ask for someone who treats everyone like a VIP and believes the absolute best shouldn't cost more and makes you feel comfortable, even when you are vulnerable. You ask for someone who cares about the little things as much as the big things. You ask for someone who treats you like you are loved, because you are. Black Hills Surgical Hospital. Ask for us by name. When you ask...
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change. We all want to be...
Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet buys cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at rapidchevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City. Danny Manholt.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements. Hi, this is Nate Brown reminding you to join the Nate Brown Show live weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. It's Rapid City's sports talk show and Rapid City's only call-in radio show. With big-name guests from across the country to the local sports coverage you just can't get anywhere else. Join the conversation every weekday for thought-provoking sports talk. This is your show. Don't miss the Nate Brown Show from 4 to 6 p.m. on 106.7 FM and 1150 a.m. And stream us all the time at foxsportsrapidcity.com. Hi,
My kid wrecked his car, his third car. The kid needs a car. We need the kid to have a car. What did I do? I begged my insurance agent for mercy. That's another story. Then I went to Copper Motors in Rapid City. and found a safe, reliable car.
Copron Motors is a small, trusted dealership specializing in safe, quality pre-owned vehicles. No pressure, no hassle. Each vehicle is inspected, serviced, and detailed with a warranty like no other. Copron Motors, corner of Campbell and Omaha.
Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer from Denny Menholt Toyota. Use your phone. It's fast and easy. Pull up our website, click on Value Trade-In, scan your VIN, and tell us about your car. You are on your way to a no-hassle, no-commitment cash offer on your vehicle in under 5 minutes. Bring your vehicle and your Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer to Denny Menholt Toyota and get cash or trade-in credit today. See you soon at Denny Menholt Toyota, Rapid City.
You're doing a lot. Maybe you're starting a family, building a home, growing a business, or investing in your legacy. Security First Bank knows your life is constantly changing. And while our commitment remains constant, we're changing too, with tools, technology, and new products from people you trust. For all the ways you're changing and all the things you're doing, we're the bank. Security First Bank. Member FDIC.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch the TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. I'm State Farm agent Scott Carlson right here in Rapid City, and I can switch you over and you can start saving today. Me and my team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just call me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson. Want the real deal? Like a good neighbor? State Farm is there. Switching is easy.
At Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, we are here to help you make your comeback. Our team is standing by to diagnose and treat your injury with some of the most advanced treatment options available and same-day appointments. Monument Health practitioners work closely with our therapists and physicians in communities throughout the Black Hills, with locations in Rapid City and Spearfish. Visit monument.health/orthopedics for more information. That's monument.health/orthopedics for more information.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with Colton, who's right here in the area. And a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of Colton today, and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
The cars, trucks, and SUVs you're looking for are at Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda. Shop imports and domestics, many local one-owner trade-ins, plus the area's best selection of pre-owned Hondas and Honda certified pre-owned. With qualified credit, buy with no money down, and get financing available as low as 1.99% APR. Great prices and low finance rates make now the best time to buy. See Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda or rushmorehonda.com. Finance rate available on select Honda certified pre-owned. Length of contract is limited. The cars,
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visit Spearfish.com now.
Star Spangled Batter on Jackson Boulevard in Rapid City, South Dakota. Famous for their delicious cakes, cupcakes, and other tasty baked goods. But did you know they're the only bakery in town to offer free consultations? Not to mention free samples when planning your big or small wedding. They also take special orders for that special party for that special someone. Check out their daily specials on Facebook or call ahead to grab some goodies for the office on your way to work. Star Spangled Batter is a proud sponsor of Rapid City sports and activities on liveticket.tv.
Would you buy your insurance from a cartoon character?
What's up, Doc?
Cartoons are good for a laugh, but when you're in an accident or you need your home covered and need help, it's no laughing matter. That's why you need a real person, like Lance at Van Z Insurance Associates. It's not just simple insurance either. Lance has you covered with home, life, auto, and business. Van Z Insurance is your place to call. Stop by today or give Lance a call at 605-393-2399.
Your first car. It might not have been perfect, but that didn't matter. You loved it because you worked hard for it. You took care of it, and it took care of you, your friends, and maybe that someone special. And through it all, we were there working with you, for you, to make sure it was a smooth ride. Farmers Union Insurance. More choices, great rates, local agents. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today. Your first.
When you ask for Black Hills Surgical Hospital, you ask for someone who believes in hospitality. You ask for someone who treats everyone like a VIP and believes the absolute best shouldn't cost more and makes you feel comfortable, even when you are vulnerable. You ask for someone who cares about the little things as much as the big things. You ask for someone who treats you like you are loved, because you are. Black Hills Surgical Hospital. Ask for us by name. When you ask,
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change. We all want to be.
Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet buys cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at rapidchevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City. Danny Manholt.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Working.
And it looks like the Patriots will be kicking off, and there we are underway for the Raider homecoming game, taken inside the 5-yard line, bringing it out to the 10, the 15, out to the 20, still on his feet, coming to this near side, out to the 35, the 40, and then pulled down from behind. That is number 4 for the Raiders.
And Tate Schaefer is the kicker. He's the one, the starting quarterback, who had to make the tackle on the returner.
Corder Doney was the returner that time. The kick returner gives the Raiders great field position to start this game this afternoon, or this evening.
Schaefer shoves him out of bounds and then pulls his helmet off. He's like, I can't believe we just did that. We just gave up that huge play to start this game.
Temperature at kickoff, 65 degrees as we're in the final day of September. They're going to hand the ball off. This one will go to Doney. He turns the corner, gets into Lincoln territory, and he's going to be forced out of bounds at the 45-yard line after a gain of 6 yards.
I don't know if I've seen the Raiders run a read option. That's exactly what it is. He held the ball, did Jensen in the gut of Doney, took a look, found, and it was so risky because there were 2 Patriots right in his face, but Doney able to turn that corner and make something out of it.
So Doney lined up in the backfield. We thought Luke Hansen, but instead they're going with Doney. They're going to go trips right now, 1 receiver to the left. There's a pass. It's going to go to Doney in the backfield. I think he slipped as he's going to lose some yardage there back at midfield.
Did he slip, or did he maybe not even quite catch the ball? Did he have to lose it and jump on it? I couldn't quite tell, but yeah, you're right. It looked like the ball got to him. It wasn't very wide. When you do those little bubble routes, those little outlet routes, you got a running back getting to the outside. You got to get to the outside because there's no way you're going to beat the speed of these teams by just purely running. You got to sling the ball.
3rd and 9 for the Raiders. Jed Jensen with trips left, 1 receiver to the right. He'll take it from from the shotgun. There's the pass. It's going to be caught by the receiver. He's right at the first down marker. That is going to be Beck Morgan, and he has a 10-yard gain. That's going to be a...
How about that? Morgan just settled right in the middle of that zone by the Lincoln Patriots, and quickly Jensen found him. Boy, if they can be that wide open through the rest of this game, this could be quite a contest.
It could be. So 1st and 10 for the Raiders on the Patriot 40. Again, Jensen from the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. There's the pass down the middle of the field. It's caught by Morgan, and Morgan all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Boy, I think I picked the wrong guy for my player to watch, Beck Morgan. That's just a great seam route right then. Just that zone, that's one of the trouble areas of a zone, is a seam route. That's why a lot of teams like to run it. They get that tight end up there. The Patriots are doing a cover 2, and right up the seam, you got to get a linebacker who has to drop over there. If he doesn't, because he's got to cover somewhere else, it leaves him wide open.
19-yard pickup for the Raiders. Now they're 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line of the Patriots. From the shotgun, they're going to throw to the end zone. The ball is up for grabs, and it's incomplete, intended on single coverage there for Cale Meisman, but it's going to be broken up by the Patriots.
Yeah, it was actually good coverage by the receiver, so I don't know if Jensen saw that, so he tried to back shoulder throw it, and Meisman kind of tried to turn around and make that catch, but he wasn't quite in the position, or if he just didn't put enough oomph out of it.
So incomplete pass. That brings up 2nd and 10 from the 21-yard line. As the Raiders go from right to left, they'll put a man in motion. That is Scott. Dropping back, Jensen. Again, he goes for Meisman. It's up for grabs, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, again, just climbing the ladder. It's one of those 50-50 balls. Get it in the air. Make your guy go for it. We know Meisman can be playmaker. And they're going right after him.
Cale Meisman, a transfer from Rapid City Central, now playing for the Raiders. 3rd and 10 coming up from the 21-yard line. Ball on the left side, hash marks. They're going to send 3 receivers to the right. Cale Meisman comes to the left. Jed Jensen might be changing the play. He'll back up now to the shotgun. Has Hansen lined up to his right. He'll drop back now from the gun. He'll scramble out of the pocket, still on his feet, go straight forward at the 10, the 5, touchdown for Jed Jensen, a 21-yard scramble for the score.
How about that? The Patriots were bringing a blitz that time right up the middle. He saw it, he read it, cut through it. Looked like a Patriot was going to trip him right about the 15-yard line. Instead, he kind of moved his legs a little quicker, got through that, little weaving through traffic and made it all the way. And what a start for the Raiders. Welcome to homecoming. They're ready to go.
They are. Of course, the crowd across the way, a huge cheering section as the middle of the grandstand, the student section
is packed.
It is packed. All you see is blue over there.
The sea of blue.
The extra point is good with 10:07 here in the first quarter, remaining in the first quarter on the State Farm scoreboard. It's Rapid City Stevens 7 and Sioux Falls Lincoln nothing. What a way to start and what a confidence boost this has to be for the Raiders.
Yeah, absolutely. They came out throwing the ball. They knew they had to. They were looking for the coverage. Ethan Wassman for the Patriots was the one who drew those 2 assignments on Cale Meisman. He did a pretty good job of keeping in there, but then they rotate it to the other side. But a part of the game plan for these Lincoln Patriots was to keep Jed Jensen in that pocket, and unable to do that as he just squirted right through the middle as he does so many times. And then the linebackers were on a blitz that time. I think Jensen read it and knew that, hey, I get these guys coming in at me. I step through them. I've got free roam into the secondary.
So the Raiders get set to kick off. They lead 7-0 on the State Farm scoreboard. Kicking off is number 31, Parker Mesmer from the 40-yard line, going from right to left. First chance to see the offense tonight for the Sioux Falls Lincoln Patriots. Both teams 2-3 on the season. Here's a high end over end. Falls at the 5-yard line. Here's the return by the Patriots. Out to the 30-yard line and still on his feet. Finally, there's a host of Raiders that will stop him at the 35-yard line. Not sure who that was on the kick return. I think number 11. Jack Smith.
I was going to say, could be Jack Smith. Either way, we're going to see Tate Schaefer in this offense. Again, he's got plenty of weapons to go through. They get Isaac Jarofsky back. He came back from concussion last week, played a few games, got some symptoms left. Now he came back. He's fully healthy and ready to go.
Schaefer fakes the handoff, rolling out to his right. He's going to get it to his big tight end. He's at the 50, now the 45, down to the 42-yard line.
Is that Sam Hinbjergen?
We'll see. I think number 9, Sam Hinbjergen.
Kind of looks like an 8 there.
Yes, it looks like an 8.
Just the way the pads come over it. But
again, Sam, a big player, 6'5", 235 pounds.
Huge player. And the problem with the Raiders is their secondary. There's big susceptibilities.
There's another pass on a slant route there. That's going to be caught by Jack Smith as he gets inside the 30, but a penalty marker thrown in the secondary.
Yeah, it's Smith, Hinbjergen, and Mosi Muhammad, along with Schaefer, are their big playmakers.
Looks like we're going to have face mask against the Rapid City Stevens Raiders. And I know, Dean, throughout the season in the Raider games that we've seen, penalties have been such a big factor for Rapid City Stevens.
Yeah, if you look at something all-encompassing, if you're looking for consistency all the way down through, like you said, the games we watch, probably the worst aspect is just the penalties coming at the wrong time
just
for the
very
Raiders.
Untimely. So now it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Rolling out is going to be Schaefer. He underthrows his receiver on an out route there to Jack Smith.
There was not a Raider within 10 yards of him.
So incomplete pass there by Tate Schaefer. Now we're looking at 2nd and 10 from the 23-yard line.
You know, there's lots of talk about the talented quarterbacks in South Dakota, especially at the AAA level, but I don't think Tate Schaefer gets enough respect.
Schaefer, there's the handoff. That's going to go to Mosi Muhammad. And Muhammad's going to take it inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line.
And Mosi Muhammad came over. He was one of those transfers. We talked about this on a previous game. He's one of the players. One went to Jefferson and one came over here to Lincoln, and Mosi Muhammad was that running back. He should have been in the backfield at Roosevelt.
They're going to go trips left now, looking at 3rd and 5. There's the pass over the middle of the field. He had a receiver wide open, number 33. Down the middle of the field, Isaac Carrazzo was wide open.
Absolutely. What a blown coverage. We've seen this multiple times over the season by the Raiders. Great play call. He just snuck right in there. The linebacker failed to cover him because the Raiders are up so close. They don't play safety help a lot. They play so close to the line of scrimmage. They put a lot of pressure on their cornerbacks to stick with your guy, and they play up so close.
Yeah, that receiver was so wide open. I think he just basically overthrew him there. They're going to throw down the middle of the field now. Smith makes the catch, and he's in for the score. Jack Smith finds pay dirt from 18 yards away.
And they're just so susceptible to that. When you play somebody up close and they decide to run those quick slant routes, unless you undercut the route, you can't defend it. All of a sudden, you're instantly in a trail position, and if you're playing bump and run out on an island, which it looks like they constantly are out on their own islands with no safety help because the safeties have to help in the box. If you're always in that situation, you have the possibility of those big plays happening to you.
The extra point is good. So with 8:38 remaining in the first quarter, on the State Farm scoreboard, we are tied at 7 apiece between the Rapid City Stevens Raiders and the Sioux Falls Lincoln Patriots. We're going to step aside for 30 seconds. When we come back, the Raiders have the football when we return on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hi, this is surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance at State Farm. I'm State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Where can you get some price?
Sales, service, and detail broadcast booth, sales, service, and recreation. We're tied at 7 apiece between Rapid City Stevens and the 5th-ranked Sioux Falls Lincoln Patriots. Here's the kickoff. This one, squib kick. It's going to take a bounce, and the Raiders will have the football. That's going to be picked up by number 5. Really nowhere to run with the football for Bryce Swanson of the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the setup there was. The middle guy picked up the ball, and then the two kind of converged. I don't know if they had a preset plan to get together and then spread out in different directions and try to keep up with who you spread out with. Either way, by the time you pick up a bouncing ball like that, there's just not enough time.
So the Raiders will have the football for the second time tonight on their opening drive. That led to a 21-yard touchdown run by Jed Jensen. They're going to go trips left, one receiver to the right. Jensen has Scott go in motion from left to right. Now he lines up to the right, back to his left, a little jet sweep. Give it to Scott. He gets around the tackle at the 30, the 35, the 40, gets to midfield and runs out of bounds. But a nice run there by Julian Scott to give the Raiders a first down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what is a great job. We're going to have a flag back here, and I think we're going to grab that holding. I wasn't quite sure. It was really close. The point of attack right at that sweep, it kind of came around right at about the 30-yard line, and there was, as soon as you see the offensive lineman throw his hands up, yeah, you almost know that's going to be a holding call.
So this one is coming back. It was a nice run there by Julian Scott, but instead the Raiders now marching in the wrong direction.
You know, and that's exactly the way you play that. When they jet to that direction, you blitz somebody right into the jet to try to force something else out of it. And that's what happened. There was a block there, but the blocker just could not hang on, or literally hung on too well.
They will replay first down. It's 1st and 18 from the 19-yard line of the Raiders. Rolling out to his right is Jensen. He fires, tries to get to the receiver. It falls incomplete. That was a tough pass to try to make to Beck Morgan.
Yeah, it was a tight window, but I'll tell you what, it got there. I think the defender just played it so well. Everything kind of converged all at one time. So it was actually a great throw, I thought, but just a better play defensively.
Again, we want to thank those who are watching us also on GoRaidersLive.com. Glad to bring the game your way.
Again, that's Ethan Wasserman. He's been picked on multiple times tonight.
Scott goes in motion again. We've had some movement, both teams pointing at each other. We'll see who they decide. It is going to be against the Lincoln Patriots. So a 5-yard penalty will help the Raiders just a little bit there. They're now facing 2nd and 13 as they move the ball to the 24-yard line.
So the Raiders are going to put Cale Meisman over here on our near side against Ryan Hirsch, the cornerback. Again, cover 2. You got 2 safeties. They're going to help over on each side.
Scott goes in motion. Jensen, being pressured, tries to get the ball to Luke Hansen. Instead, he underthrows Hansen, and that falls incomplete.
Yeah, I don't know if they were going to try to set up a screen there, and he just got turned around, and the defender got through, which you want him to do, but not that quickly enough to just blow the play up.
So now the Raiders, after that incomplete pass, they face 3rd and 13 from their own 24. We have 7 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Tied ball game between the Patriots and the Raiders. They'll go trips left, 1 receiver to the right. Jensen out of the gun. Drops back. There's a flag on the play, trying to get it to Beck Morgan once again, but he underthrows the receiver. Beck had to get low to try to make the catch, but we'll see as they sort out that penalty flag.
Yeah, and Jeremy Henwood is the umpire right there, throwing it right in the middle. I'm going to get a hold against the Raiders. That's the 3rd penalty, if I'm not mistaken, tonight already for the Raiders. 2 on this drive alone.
So the penalty is declined, and we'll see the special teams unit come out for the Raiders as they are forced to punt on 4th and 13.
Boy, it could be more untimely for the Raiders right now. What life, what spirit they had. They open up the game and just give everybody that energy. The whole team can just feel it. And then all of a sudden you got, penalty. 4 penalties by the Raiders.
There's the punt almost blocked. A fair catch called for by number 10, Connor Gray, back at the, we'll see where they spot the football. It's about the 41-yard line. 42-yard line. So now Sioux Falls Lincoln will have the football. Again, that kind of takes the momentum away from you.
It
going 3 and out for the Raiders after such a great first opening drive.
Yeah, and I thought that, that jet sweep to Scott was just such a great play call.
Oh, it was.
He was just right up the middle. He needed to undercut that block, and he would have had it.
1 receiver lined up to each side. High snap to Tate Schaefer on the quarterback keeper there. He is going to be stopped after a gain of 1 yard to the 43-yard line of the Patriots.
And we talked about that center possibility. Luke Martin coming in for the injured Elliott Rensville.
2nd and 9 now for Sioux Falls Lincoln. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And are we going to get a timeout? The Patriots want to talk about it. So while we have a quick moment, we want to update you on some scores. Again, here at O'Hara Stadium, 7:01 remaining. Sioux Falls Lincoln calls a timeout. The Raiders and the Patriots tied at 7 apiece. Again, we'll just look at some scores real quickly. We had such an earlier game with Rapid City Central, we didn't have as many to report. But in Class 11 AAA, a final tonight, Sioux Falls Jefferson remains the only undefeated team in Class 11 AAA as they down O'Gorman tonight, 42-17. I think Sioux Falls Jefferson, Dean, proving why they are that top team in Class 11 AAA.
They're big, they're fast, they have such talent at every position that no matter what you throw at them, no matter what you do, You just have to play this perfect game and just come out and execute amazing in order to compete against those guys.
And Brandon Valley holding on to in the third quarter over Pierre 34-28. We knew that game would be a battle as well. And again, there's a handoff once again. That's going to go to number 22. Drevin Hodge, I think, had the football.
Yeah, Drevin Hodge, they're welcoming him back as well. He played for Brandon Valley last year, and he's been out with injury, but he is back. He's one of those 5 starters that they didn't have, and now they've got them back to kind of help out that running game.
Drevin Hodge, a 5'11", 190-pound senior. There's a pass. It's going to be caught. That's Jack Smith once again. Raiders having a hard time covering him, as he's going to get enough to move the chains for the Patriots.
And I'll tell you what it is. When the Raiders line up, they always got that inside slot guy is always playing about 10 yards off, and that just creates that little curl route. You settle right in there, and it's just a gimme 10 yards every time.
Schaefer from the gun is going to throw it down the left sideline. It's going to be caught by Smith. He breaks a tackle. He's out the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown for Jack Smith, but a penalty marker. Could this one be coming back?
Yeah, it was right at that point. I don't know, what he saw, if it's going to be. There was definitely some separation there. We'll see if it's offensive pass interference.
The touchdown is good, they say. It's holding against the Raiders. That penalty is going to be declined, and that is Jack Smith now with his second touchdown. This one from 46 yards.
Well, if you're going to hold somebody, you better hold them and don't let them catch the ball. What's the point? That is a strategy. Hey, if I get beat, I'm going to hold, pass interference, do something in order to keep that from getting a touchdown. Unfortunately, it didn't work that time. Again, the Lincoln Patriots exploiting the secondary of the Raiders and taking those mismatches and taking advantage of them.
So the extra point is good on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Sioux Falls Lincoln with the lead over Rapid City Stevens. 14-7 is your score. We're back in 30 seconds right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City and foxsportsrapidcity.com, as well as GoRaidersLive.com.
Hi, this is Nate Brown.
My kid wrecked his car, his third car. The kid needs a car. We need the kid to have a car. What did I do? I begged my insurance agent for mercy. That's another story. Then I went to Copper Motors in Rapid City and found a safe, reliable car.
Copper & Motors is a small, trusted dealership specializing in safe, quality pre-owned vehicles. No pressure, no hassle. Each vehicle is inspected, serviced, and detailed with a warranty like no other. Copper & Motors, corner of Campbell and Omaha.
We are back here at Dunham Field at O'Hara Stadium on Week 7 of South Dakota High School football. We welcome you back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Here's the kick. This one, again, another line drive kick, going to be picked up by Julian Scott. He's at the 30-yard line, spun out of a tackle, and he's going to be stopped just shy of the 35-yard line.
Good job on that spin move. He kind of cut through. He's got those short, quick steps, which enables him to change directions really quickly. And it kind of looked like they're going to get him at once, and then he snuck through it, and again, like that spin move, and then somebody finally cleaned him up. So now the Raiders now is turned into a track meet the first 2 series. The Raiders sputtered that last time, and now the track meet is we are now 2 steps behind.
So now it's going to be a tight formation. Jet Jensen will go from the shotgun. There's the snap to Jensen. The handoff to number 35.
Luke Hansen.
Is that 25?
35, isn't it?
35. So that is Peyton Wajanowicz.
Yeah, Watanowicz. Yeah.
A 5'11", 190-pound senior.
And we saw him earlier. He's going to get some action. No, I mean, not in this game, earlier in the season. Getting a little action here and there.
So Watanowicz with a carry there for a yard. We're now 2nd and 9 from the 35-yard line of the Raiders, going from right to left. They fake the handoff, rolling out to the near side. Here's Jensen. He's going to tuck it in. He gets rid of the football. He was in some trouble. He gets rid of the football. And now we're looking at third down coming up for the Raiders.
Yeah, I don't know the decision. He was kind of in trouble over there. I thought he was going to try to run, at least try to make something out of it, use his feet. He's got a lot of speed, but instead he stopped, turned right back into defense. You got to be able to feel it. You got to know that those guys are bearing down from my backside. I can't see what's going on, and he tried to spin back into it, and there was someone ready to clean his clock there.
There was. So now they're going to send Meisman and Scott to the right side. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. That's Morgan rolling out and throwing to Meisman. He catches the ball at the 40, down the sideline. The ball was loose. Did he step out of bounds? He did. He lost the ball, which would have been recovered by the Patriots, but luckily he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, right, and a good first down, a great play, a little deep out for him. They roll Jensen out to that right side. Meisman, again, just a deep out, settles right along that sideline. When you run on that zone, that zone doesn't guard all the way to the sideline because you have so much area to cover. So that good job at picking up zones. You'll see when they run zones, you'll see the streaks in the middle of the zones and then people settling in the cracks in the zones.
So now Meisman and Scott to the left side. They'll have Morgan to the right. Here's Jed Jensen out of the shotgun. 1st and 10 from midfield. Movement once again. False start against the Raiders.
So it looked like they were showing a cover 2 situation, but then the safety started creeping down. I think he was anticipating the fact that he's playing so far off that they were going to run either a curl or a slant route to the slot guy on the left, and he was going to undercut that route.
So now a 5-yard penalty, 1st and 15 from the Raider 45. Jensen with 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. He's going to follow his blocker to the right side, tries to turn the corner. He's at the 45. He's going to go out of bounds at the 47 or 48-yard line. A short gain of 3 yards there for Jed Jensen.
Just trying to gain some of that back that they just lost. And, you pull blockers out in front of you. You pull a guard out to try to get out in front of you, be a lead blocker at that, but the Patriots did a great job of stringing that play out. He was able to turn the corner, but not by much.
14-7 is your score. The Patriots leading the Raiders. That's Sioux Falls Lincoln, 2-3 on the season, as well as the Raiders 2-3. We're looking at 2nd and 12. Jensen now on the reverse. He gives the ball to he gives the ball to Scott, and Scott just couldn't handle the football. Bounces out of his chest, off his chest there. And he's able to recover the football, but a huge loss for the Raiders.
Yeah, absolutely. He had plenty of room, too. He keeps that. He's going around the outside. He's going to get at least, 5 to 6 yards out of that before they get to him. But, boy, play execution has to be critical when you come up against, a formidable opponent.
Like you said, he was coming towards the ramp side of the field, had a lot of green in front of him. He could have made a lot of yards that time. Unfortunately, just a bad, unfortunate break there for the Raiders. Now 3rd and long. Jensen drops back. He's got Scott. Scott is going to be at the 40, now the 45. Still on his feet, and he runs out of bounds, though, at midfield. Right at the original line of scrimmage. In fact, he gets, they're going to mark him at the 49-yard line. So we're looking at 4th and 9 for the Raiders, trailing by a touchdown here late in the first quarter. Actually, 4:11 to play. It looks like the punting unit coming out, Parker Mesmer.
Yeah, you got to turn this field over here. You got an opportunity to match blows with this team. You obviously didn't get it done your second blow after they scored, so here you can't give that game up yet.
There's the punt. Connor Gray is back deep for Sioux Falls Lincoln.
Punt. Well,
and that punt is going to go out of bounds.
It originally looked pretty good, but, man, it sure sailed this direction. There's not much wind going on. I see the flags hardly moving, but, man, he sent it way over here.
So Sioux Falls Lincoln will have the football 1st and 10 from their own 20, going from left to right or west to east here at O'Hara Stadium. Dean, as we dig into the Kearney files real quickly, since 2004, Sioux Falls Lincoln is 16-4 against Rapid City Stevens. The Patriots have outscored the Raiders 735 to 333 coming into this contest.
Not too bad.
Rolling out, making the catch on that far side. The receiver is going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 38-yard line.
And they ran that play earlier, that just little tight end underplay, and there is not anyone over there to cover that play. And they're going to keep running it until the Raiders figure out in the secondary how they're going to cover that.
No huddle offense there by Sioux Falls Lincoln. Here's Tate Schaefer once again. From the shotgun, hands the ball off to Muhammad. Actually, I don't think that was Muhammad.
Whoever it was, they were dragging the pile there for a while.
That's number 22 that gets up from the bottom, so Drevin Hodge once again. And again, they are quick to get to the line. They use that no huddle. They'll go 2 receivers to the right on 2nd and short.
Well, they don't want the Raiders to adjust.
They'll give it to Hodge. He'll get to the outside, and he just plows forward. And he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they mark the football. It looks like he may have
Short.
enough.
Yeah, it looks like he's short. Nope, they're going for it.
They will move the football. And Dean, one quick thing from the Kearney Files. The last time the Raiders won against Sioux Falls, Lincoln, was back in 2017. The Raiders won 23-19. So again, 5 years ago was the last time the Raiders won.
Do we know when that was? I think that game, if I remember, that game might have been in Sioux Falls.
It was October 6th of 2017. So on my oldest son's birthday.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that was the last time the Raiders won, again 23-19 over Sioux Falls Lincoln. So they had an incomplete pass there, a deep pass there to Jack Smith. Quick scoring update right now. Pierre leads Brandon Valley 35-34.
Wow.
They're going to give it to Hodge. He goes right up the middle. He's going to into Raider territory. On 2nd and 10, he's going to take it down a gain of about 5 yards to the 47-yard line.
Boy, their hurry-up offense and their play distribution is just amazing. I don't know if Fredenberg calls the plays, but whoever does is just doing a fantastic job right now.
Now they get it out to the big tight end. That's Hindbergen. Did I say that right?
You did. Fantastic.
I'm still working on that, but the second time I've called his name tonight as he makes the catch. And again, he's so big, he's just tough to bring down.
Just think of all those weapons they have. Mm-hmm. They've got 2 guys in the backfield. They got Schaefer throwing it. Jack Smith. We talked about Hindbergen. And they haven't even touched Jarofsky yet.
So 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. They fake the handoff. There's the pass to Hindbergen once again. He puts his shoulder down, and he's going to be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
There's just, right now they have no answer for the tight end doing an out route.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be another gain of 7 yards. So now we're looking at 2nd and 3. Actually, 2nd and about 2.
And when you play up so close defensively as a defender, you're susceptible.
They're going to throw it down to Smith down the right sideline. It was deep, but it's just a little too far for Jack Smith. He ran out of real estate there. The ball goes out of bounds, and it will be 3rd and short coming up now for Sioux Falls Lincoln. 3rd and about 2 yards to go. They're on the 32. They need to get to the 30, just inside the 30. Tate Schaefer takes it from the gun, hands it off to Hodge. Hodge breaks to the outside, but he's going to be stopped by the Raiders.
A nice job that time, closing in quickly. That was number 19, Aiden Unterbrenner. Got into the backfield. They read the play well. Like I said, everybody is within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
4th and 1 to go. It looks like the Patriots will line up to go for it. They have Hodge lined up. They give the handoff to Hodge, and Hodge is going to have enough for the first down. They went for it on 4th and 1. Hodge takes it from the 31-yard line down to the 26, so a gain of 5. There's that hurry-up offense.
And they could just freely sub in so quickly.
Dropping back and now throwing to the middle of the field. It's Jack Smith, and Jack Smith with an easy touchdown from 26 yards to put the Patriots up 20-7 over Rapid City Stevens.
Yeah, and until they fix that defensively, that risk-reward defense, I guess I'm not quite sure exactly what they call it or how they line up and make that decision. But until they come up with a solution for that, teams are just going to exploit it, and the Patriots can do it because they have such an effective run game. So it requires people to help out in the box so much, single coverage all over the place, and when you've got big steps and good receivers like that, and then you've got defensive backs who can't keep up with them, it just makes for the disparage that we have right now.
Tate Schaefer is your kicker. He puts it through the uprights. On the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick, with 1:17 to go in the first quarter. It's Sioux Falls Lincoln 21, Rapid City Stevens 7. We'll pause for 30 seconds right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer from Denny Menholt Toyota. Use your phone. It's fast and easy. Pull up our website, click on Value Trade-In, scan your VIN, and tell us about your car. You are on your way to a no-hassle, no-commitment cash offer on your vehicle in under 5 minutes. Bring your vehicle and your Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer to Denny Menholt Toyota and get cash or trade-in credit today. See you soon at Denny Menholt Toyota, Rapid City.
And we're back here at the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. So 3 straight touchdowns after the Raiders scored first, and now the Lincoln Patriots lead 21-7. Here's the kickoff. This one is deep. It's going to go into the end zone. And so the Raiders will bring this one out to the 20-yard line as they have the football. Once again, we are still in the first quarter. This has been a long first quarter. And Dean, like we were just talking about, this is the Raiders, after that opening drive, they've just stalled on offensively, but they don't want this game to get away from them.
Yeah, and we see this so often, with the Raiders. They jump out, just like their seasons. They jump out well, and then it stalls, it's penalties, it's mistakes in all different directions. And a team that looked like almost unstoppable that first drive, now looks like they can't even get going.
Jed Jensen goes from the shotgun. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Fakes the handoff, has time. He's going to throw it back to his left. It's caught by Scott. Julian Scott comes back to the football and has a first down for the Raiders at the 38-yard line.
That is just a great back shoulder throw. You saw it. You even saw the defender look like from here. It's way on the other side, but from this angle, it looked like he got his hands on him, and Scott is able to come back and make that catch. But again, a back shoulder throw because the defender is running step for step with him.
So that was, in fact, a 19-yard pickup to the 39-yard line of the Raiders. They'll go 4 receivers to the left, 1 to the right on an empty backfield, but a false start against the Raiders. And again, just some untimely penalties for the Raiders just when things seem to be going their way.
Right. You just like in baseball, you can't defense a walk, and you can't beat yourself constantly when you're going backwards.
So the Raiders now 1st and 15 from their own 34-yard line.
And it's not like it's a hold. You can tolerate sometimes a hold because players are just kind of trying and they get in the wrong spot or something. But those false starts are just killers.
4 receivers to the left, 1 to the right on an empty backfield. Single coverage. They air it out for Cale Meisman, and it's just a little too far for the outstretched arms of Cale Meisman.
Yeah, a little too far and just a hair bit outside. When that ball went away, Cale Meisman impressed me. I thought as soon as that ball went away, I was like, uh-oh, too far. But Meisman just turned on the jets and, like you said, just barely out of his reach.
So now we're looking at second and 15 after that incomplete pass.
And they rely so much on big plays. I mean, it's like feast or famine. It's a lightning show or it's a drought coming for the Raiders.
Scott will go in motion, now back to his right. Jensen, little screen pass there, but it's incomplete, intended for Luke Hansen, but Luke couldn't haul it in. Incomplete. Now we're looking at 3rd and 15 for the Raiders.
Oh, it was a great setup play, right there. They were coming after him, and he dumps it over. Yeah, if Hansen can haul that in, he had 3 blockers in front of him and nobody to block.
Just a tough break there as it's incomplete. The Raiders just trying to find that offense that they found on the opening drive. They'll go spread offense once again, 2 receivers to each side. Ball on the right side, hash marks. Jensen, again from the gun. Looks to the middle of the field, steps out of the pocket. He's going to air it down the middle of the field. Had a receiver. That was Beck Morgan, but again, he throws it just a little too far for Morgan.
Wow, and Morgan was there too. He had a step in front of the defenders. He's just running the post route. You saw Jensen pointing his fingers like, get your butt downfield because I am going to chuck it your way. And he just, again, now he's on the run somewhat. He kind of slowed down enough to try to get his body mechanics in the right form, but just could not get that ball to where it needed to be.
So Parker Mesmer will be back to punt once again for the Raiders. And another false start penalty, so that's going to back them up to make it 4th and 20 now. Again, the amount of penalties that the Raiders have had in this first quarter, just, way too much for, that you want to see out of a high school team.
And, in years past, they've had a defense that has been able to kind of help overcome some of this. Right now, this shootout that we thought was going to start with the first couple of possessions is going downhill quickly, and that defense just cannot hold these Patriots.
Here's Gray on the return for Sioux Falls Lincoln. Gray's going to take it, looks like, to about the 47-yard line, rather.
And, take Crossway. He's that middle linebacker for the Raiders, one of the inside, backers. And he had help in the last couple of years, some pretty stout guys that helped him out quite well. But now he's kind of on an island, on his own as far as, help around him just isn't quite at the level it has been in the past couple of years. So he's having to be able to do lots of things for him.
Should be the last play of this first quarter with a 21-7 Sioux Falls Lincoln lead over Rapid City Stevens. They hand it off to Mosi Muhammad. He loses his footing, but he stumbles forward. He's going to get to the 45-yard line of the Raiders, and that's going to be where we end this first quarter of play. On the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. After 1, it's Sioux Falls Lincoln 21, Rapid City Stevens 7. We're back in 1 minute right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City and foxsportsrapidcity.com, as well as GoRaidersLive.com.
Book Instant Cash Offer from Denny Menholt Toyota. Use your phone. It's fast and easy. Pull up our website, click on Value Trade-In, scan your VIN, and tell us about your car. You are on your way to a no-hassle, no-commitment cash offer on your vehicle in under 5 minutes. Bring your vehicle and your Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer to Denny Menholt Toyota and get cash or trade-in credit today. See you soon at Denny Menholt Toyota, Rapid City. Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash.
You're doing a lot. Maybe you're starting a family, building a home, growing a business, or investing in your legacy. Security First Bank knows your life is constantly changing. And while our commitment remains constant, we're changing too, with tools, technology, and new products from people you trust. For all the ways you're changing and all the things you're doing, we're the bank. Security First Bank. Member FDIC.
And that's going to move the chains for an automatic first down. Enough yardage there. Here's Tate Schaefer now on 1st and 10 from the 40. Takes the snap. The ball is on the ground. The Raiders recover. It was a bad exchange on the handoff there, and the Raiders will recover the football as they get it now on their own 41.
Yeah, and we talked about Drevin Hodge being out, and this is his first game back, so maybe a little bit of insecurity as far as ball security between Schaefer and Hodge, and it's the first opportunity for the Raiders. And can they capitalize? We thought, here they go. The Patriots get the ball. They've basically been running down the field at will, running and passing, moving the ball, and now an opportunity for the Raiders to keep pace with them.
And Dean, I was just thinking at the break there, if the defense could just come up with a big stop, get the offense back on there, and here they are once again. Jensen now has some time. He's going to throw it down the middle of the field, has Julian Scott, and again he overthrows his receiver.
Wow.
Those are tough. He's had some great throws, but he leads his receiver or overthrows them just a little too much.
Yeah, just a hair bit too much. Yeah, they're great throws, but like you said, just a little too much on it. And he had plenty of time, good protection. You can see that the Patriots dropped, look like 8 into coverage because he didn't have a lot of room, but you got so many people back. How in the world does a guy get behind you? But he did, Scott, using his speed.
He did. So incomplete to Julian Scott. That now brings up 2nd and 10 from the Raider 41-yard line. And I think we're going to get a delay of game. We do. The clock is at 0. And, Dean, in this first half, we've just seen so many,
There's got to be at least 10 penalties.
At least.
And that was our number one key to the game tonight for the Raiders. Mistakes. And it was like it was one key. And it was key A, B, C. It was mistakes, and the 1A was the penalty mistakes.
So now the Raiders will be 2nd and 15 from the 36-yard line, going from left to right or west to east. Jensen from the gun once again, 3-step drop. He's going to get out of the pocket, and he's going to be tackled at the 37-yard line. So just a gain of 1 yard there for Jed Jensen. Still looking at 3rd and long coming up now for the Raiders. 3rd and 14 from the 37-yard line. They need to get to the 49-yard line of the Patriots. Jensen comes from the sidelines there, and now they're down to 10 seconds on the play clock. Have to hurry to the line of scrimmage. They're going to send 5 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hansen goes in motion. They fake the handoff. There's the pass. Beck Morgan had it for a moment, but it's broken up.
That was an absolutely tremendous play defensively. Was that number 4 coming in, Mason Bokema coming in. Great job, settled right into the zone. The ball was delivered well, but the Patriots were well aware of where he was at and closed so quickly and timed it absolutely perfectly.
They did to break up that one, and Morgan had it for a moment, but then it was knocked loose or jarred loose from his grip, so it'll fall incomplete. Parker Mesmer will punt then. Almost. And we're going to get a penalty marker for running into the punter.
Yeah,
penalty flag.
Might even be roughing.
Wasn't sure exactly. I know you know the reffing aspect.
Well, yeah. That's just the difference between how hard he hit him, and there's probably more to that which I don't know. How they make that determine running in versus roughing.
They're talking to the sidelines there. The official is. See, wearing our white hat again, that's going to be, I don't know him well enough. We had James Doyle, Daniel Graff, Jeremy Hinwood, Ellen Olson, and Paul Whitcraft.
It's not Whitcraft. I don't think it's Olson, but it might be. And I know it's not Henwood. I know those 3 gentlemen. I think they're discussing it over here. He's discussing what our options are. Redo it. It's running into the kicker, and it's 5 yards.
So then will they repunt?
Replay, yep. Or so they so choose.
If they choose, yep.
This isn't Olsen on the near side either. That's not him.
I think it might be Olsen wearing the white hat.
It could be.
So now the Raiders, they move the ball, and now they're 4th and 9 as they pick up the penalty flag, or the yellow flag. Parker Mesmer will punt once again.
We need another false start or delay a game. False start.
False start.
From this side.
So the 5 yards they just got, they're going to punt back from where they were punting now. Things just not going here. After that opening drive, things have just not worked well for the Raiders.
No, and it's really self-inflicted because these penalties aren't things that you're trying hard. You're just not focused.
Low punt there by Parker Mesmer, but he had to go down to a knee to get it, and that's where he's going to be down.
Yep, that's exactly. So
it was a low snap. He went down to his knee to get it, and because his knee touched, he did not even get the punt away.
Yep, absolutely.
So another tough break there for the Raiders.
We've seen probably half a dozen false start / offside penalties, which those are just all mental, 100%. They are just all mental. Just those alone, what a difference this game would be.
So 10:45 to go here in the second quarter. 21-7, Sioux Falls Lincoln with the lead over Rapid City Stevens. Here's Tate Schaefer. He drops back, throws down the left sideline for...
That's going to be a penalty.
It is. There's your penalty. He was throwing for number 10. That's Connor Gray.
Yeah, it was. And the defender just had his hands on him, and then he just kind of shoved him. That was Unterbrenner. And in that situation, I guess I couldn't quite tell exactly. He wasn't even looking at the ball. I think he read the eyes of the receiver. And instead of at least trying to look back at the ball to at least give him an opportunity, because you could plead your case, like, look, I was looking back at the ball. He just shoved him.
I'm not really playing the ball, just had his back towards the ball. So now 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line for Sioux Falls Lincoln. Tate Schaefer takes the snap, hands it off to Hodge. Hodge trying to follow his blockers, but his blockers weren't moving the line.
Right.
In fact, they're moved backwards.
It looked like synchronized dancing almost as they kind of slid sideways there a little bit, but they kind of ran into each other. We've already seen Hodge put the ball on the deck one time. We got a penalty here.
We're going to have holding against the Patriots.
Yeah, it was probably holding that big old pile that he had.
So that's a 10-yard penalty.
I've seen less holding at a ballet show.
We have definitely seen our share of penalties in this first half, predominantly by the Raiders. They've had their share of the penalties, but the Lincoln Patriots have had a couple as well. We're going to have a final score in the Pierre Brandon Valley game in just a moment. Here's Schaefer again, fakes the handoff, now looking to his left. He's going to roll out, then he gets rid of the football. It's incomplete. Trying to make a diving catch was number 10, Connor Gray, but that's going to be short, and that's going to fall incomplete to bring up 3rd down. So, Dean, the final score tonight, it's Pierre 43, Brandon Valley 34.
Wow, Pierre, that just established. When we played when I was in high school, Pierre was in our league, so... For whatever reason, they're divvying them up. Pierre is just such a dominant team.
Schaefer fakes the handoff. Now he's going to roll out to the near side. Just lobs it to the big tight end, Hindbergen. And he's going to be forced out of bounds at the 22-yard line. So now 3rd and long coming up.
It's more like trying to escort like the Jolly Green Giant out of bounds. They got some pads on him and some hands on him, but that's kind of about it. It was just like... Okay, I'm not going to bring you down, but I'll just kind of escort you out of bounds.
So 3rd and 20 is what we're looking at from the 22-yard line. Dropping back again is Schaefer. Under pressure. Escapes a couple of tackles. He's going to lob it up for, that was number 10 once again, Connor Gray. It's going to be broken up by Julian Scott, and now 4th down coming up.
Yeah, and I think the sidelines want a flag on that because I think Scott kind of ran into him, but I guess you could probably argue that Scott was also trying to go for the ball even though he was on the outside of the receiver.
Dean, real quickly with that Pierre-Brandon Valley game, at one point, Pierre was down 28-7.
Wow,
they win 43 to 34.
Yeah, I tell you what would be a great game would see like Pierre playing Jefferson.
Oh, that would be a great matchup. Here's a field goal attempt, and this one is good. A 10, 20, 30, 39-yard field goal by number 12, Tate Schaefer.
So finally, the Raider defense kind of stiffens. They get some pressure in the backfield. They make Schaefer kind of run around and try to make plays. And the defenders were actually staying with their receivers. We did see the penalty over there, but obviously the Patriots got their own penalty. But that's a little bit of a lift for the Raiders. I realize they're down, they're 17 points right now. But the fact that the Patriots got the ball, inside the 20-yard line, and they were able to hang on and force a field goal, that's got to be a little bit of a win because in recent weeks, the Raider defense has just really been struggling.
It has. So on the State Farm scoreboard, it's 24-7. Sioux Falls Lincoln leading Rapid City Stevens here at homecoming for the Rapid City Stevens Raiders. Like we said, a great crowd across the way in the grandstand. The student section, the band over there, it's that middle section is just full tonight. And, of course, we got the cars over here on the parking ramp side of things. It took a little while to get the exchange. The Cobbler fans were leaving. The Raider fans were coming. So they all worked really well together, though, and everything got straightened.
Synchronized
it worked out
switching.
Well.
That's a new Olympic sport.
So now we'll see if the Raiders can answer. There's 9 minutes and 31 seconds remaining until halftime. Again, this game coming your way on Fox Sports Rapid City. It's week 7 of our coverage. Hard to believe, just 3 weeks remaining in high school football. And for the smaller schools, Class 11B and smaller, they'll be starting playoffs just around the corner.
Right, just a couple weeks away, the night we do our Raider Cobbler game.
Here's Julian Scott inside the 10-yard line, down that left sideline, almost breaking free. He's going to take it to about the 35-yard line. Boy, if he could have just broke that last tackle.
Boy, we might call him Scott the Heartbreaker. Because when he takes off, you see him, you think, oh, here he goes, and you just, oh, no, he just didn't quite make it.
Now, he had a nice return there. He was inside the 10, takes it out to at least 25 yards or a little more. And now the Raiders will have good field position to start this drive, but they just need to muster up some more points here.
And what Scott does well is he just runs straight. He keeps going. He runs hard.
Right up the middle is Luke Hansen. He holds on to the football, dives forward. He's real close to a first down, and he might have it.
Was that Hansen? Is Hansen 25?
He is. Luke Hansen is 25. Yep. No. It's Wotanowicz.
Wotanowicz is 35.
It's 35.
They can't do that to us. That's not fair, especially in the lighting here. Sometimes it gets under your pads, and so you can't quite see where it's at in the lighting area. But
they're going to send Meisman and Scott to the left. Scott will be in the slot. Jed Jensen will go from the shotgun. First and 10 for the Raiders. Hands it off and right up the A-gap once again. That's going to be Hansen. Only gets a couple of yards from the 45 to about the 47. That's going to be a gain of 2. 2nd and 8 now for the Raiders. Again on their own 47-yard line.
And this year's version of the Raiders, unfortunately, what they missed is that running game last year. I remember Uriah Glenn. He was just a couple, 3 years that he was here at Stevens, and the running was just a great compliment to what Jensen can do.
2nd and 8. They're going to get it to Meisman on that far side. He breaks one tackle. Now he's going to be wrapped up, but he is going to be close to a first down.
I think he got it.
I think about a yard shorter, maybe not even. I think you're right.
He's going. Moving, they're moving, yes, no,
they're saying,
yes.
Move the chains.
That's what I thought.
So it was a nice little route there. He comes back, catches the football. Meisman does. And the Raiders now showing some signs offensively as they start again, getting in that rhythm that we saw early in this ball game.
Yeah, it is and effectively going against that zone defense. If you give a quarterback enough time, a good quarterback like Jensen will be able to tear up a zone. As long as his receivers cooperate and get in the right spots.
Just under 8 minutes to play before halftime. They'll hand the ball off. This one is going to go to Corder Doney, who came out of the backfield there, comes in and sometimes plays running back. He's going to take it inside the 40 down to the 39-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 5. Now looking at 2nd and 5 for the Raiders in Patriot territory. Doney will exit as Luke Hansen comes back in.
So Watanowicz and Hansen. Watanowicz must be the 2-back, Hansen the 3-back.
Again, Scott's going to be
pistol formation
in that slot. Morgan lined up to the right. On the reverse there, they're going to give it to Scott. Scott is at the 35.
Great blocking right there.
Gets to the outside, the 30-yard line, down to the 25, the 20. And again, another nice play there by Scott. I don't see any penalty markers. And the Raiders are in business as they get in the red zone.
But I got to tell you, the blocking was tremendous. There was an alley that was sealed. And what really made that play looks like is it number 9, Nash Sobzak. To be able to block a defender for as long as you did, waiting for that play to develop. I watched that as the handoff happened. I looked upfield to see what kind of clearance he had. So much room. And then I saw Sobzak, who is your prom king, if I'm not mistaken.
He is.
Blocking, and he continued to hold the block, and Scott went right around it. Just a fantastic job.
1st and 10 from the 20. Jensen.
Busted play there, I think.
Busted play. He's going to roll out to his right. We see a penalty marker as he's heading inside the 5-yard line. He gets the touchdown, but I have a feeling this one might be coming back.
Yeah, it was we see Scott doubled over on the ground, but I think it was probably a holding call as he was rolling out to get, and we see him pointing that way, so that's correct.
Holding against the Raiders.
I think it was a busted play because Jensen got it and he turned around to hand it off, and the defender was not where he the running back was not where he wanted him to be. So that's when he had to grab it and just tuck and run.
You know, Jensen has the only touchdown tonight for the Raiders as they trail 24-7 to Sioux Falls Lincoln. Earlier, he had a 21-yard scramble for a TD, and that was on the opening drive for the Raiders. Now they're going to send Meisman and Scott to the left. They'll go Sobzak to the right. Here's Jed Jensen out of the gun. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to throw it to Scott, and Scott is hit immediately. The ball's popped in the air, and Cale Meisman comes down with it.
Boy, you talk about defensive backs. They work on that tip drill all the time, but the offense can do it too.
And Julian Scott gets up real slow, getting helped by his teammates.
Second play in a row he's got up
He has been hit from behind and hit hard.
You know, he's not the biggest guy out there. He's kind of a little guy. He's probably not, like 5'8",
6 foot, 175 pounds?
6 foot? Boy, he does not look 6 foot, 175.
6 foot, 175. But you're right. He does not look.
What's Meisman's, like 6'3"?
Meisman's 6'4". And Meisman is 190.
Okay, maybe just comparatively. But you see Scott, he's not like little. I was not really serious about a 5'9" or something like that, but he does not look
175.
175,
yep.
Yeah.
So the play clock was down to 1 second. The Raiders will take a timeout. We will take a timeout as well. On the State Farm scoreboard, the Patriots lead the Raiders 24-7. We're back in 30 on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City and foxsportsrapidcity.com, as well as GoRaidersLive.com.
You're doing.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch the TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. I'm State Farm agent Scott Carlson right here in Rapid City, and I can switch you over and you can start saving today. Me and my team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just call me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson. Want the real deal? Like a good neighbor? State Farm is there. Switching is easy. We do it all the time.
Raiders have the football coming out of that timeout. They throw to the corner of the end zone, but And Cale Meisman makes the catch, but he ran out of bounds and came back in to make the catch. So it is no good.
And I didn't see, usually the official will throw his hat out there.
He didn't throw his hat, but he did make the sign that he ran out of bounds.
Yeah.
He, in fact, ran on the outside of the cone.
Yeah, it is a... So they have man-to-man coverage on that outside on Meisman, like literally when Meisman gets off, he jams him at the line of scrimmage. That is Ethan Wassman, and that's a hard guy to jam because he's a pretty tough individual. He gets out of that. He gets out of that and is able to get in the end zone. But like you said, when you're playing that bump and run coverage, that jam coverage, you jam them to the outside. And he's practically standing on the sideline when he starts.
And the Raiders were forced to take another timeout back-to-back because they were down to 4 seconds left on the play clock. And so they are facing, after that incomplete, it is 3rd and 11. Of course, you heard the reaction from the crowd. I don't know if our mic picked it up, but they wanted the touchdown, but he did. He ran out of bounds and then came back in to make that diving catch in the end zone.
I think the Raiders might need to take a lesson from the Lincoln play callers.
Oh, with that no huddle.
So quick. It
are.
isn't even just a no huddle. It's the fact that they have that play in right away. And it gives them opportunity. They do that so they can get up to the line. If they see something crazy, then they will yell out or put a hand signal or something in there to say, hey, let's change the play to this. Let's do this. You have it's basically your coaches are calling your audibles at the sidelines, and that's one of the benefits of running that no-huddle offense.
6 minutes and 1 second remaining here in this first half, 24-7. Sioux Falls Lincoln leading Rapid City Stevens. It's 3rd and 11 now. They fake the handoff. There's the pass down the middle of the field on a post route there by Beck Morgan, but it goes through his hands. It's incomplete. And now 4th and 11 coming up for Rapid City Stevens.
I think it was kind of just a quick slant. He couple steps off the line, you plant your foot, you cut to the inside, you seal the defender on the outside, and just try to get it or feed it right into that window, and it was just too hot.
So Parker Mesmer comes out to try to give some points to the Raiders. There's the snap, the kick from the 28-yard line.
Plenty of distance.
Plenty of distance. A 38-yard field goal for Parker Mesmer. Definitely the kicking game is not an issue for the Raiders.
Yeah, he's a soccer player, I believe, who came over. And so
5:52 to go in the second quarter. After that 38-yard field goal by Parker Mesmer on the State Farm scoreboard, it's now the Patriots 24 and Rapid City Stevens 10. Again, 5:52 remaining. We'll see if the Raider defense, they've had some time to rest, see if they can come out here and make a big play for Rapid City Stevens.
Yeah, it's a play. They're going to have to make a stand. You can already smell the fact that the Patriots are going to come out firing. They're no huddle offense. They have the running game and the passing game that complement each other so well. And it's really going to come down to the defensive backs, secondaries for the Raiders. Can they run? Are they athletic enough to run with the receivers for the Patriots without any safety help? Because the Raiders rarely put a safety back there. They play two strong safeties. I don't know what their defense is called or anything, but it looks like they played two strong safeties just to try to contain something inside the box and try to put pressure on the quarterback. And it's worked a couple of times, but boy, it's a risk-reward that if you don't put that pressure, then that pass is on the money.
And Parker Mesmer kicks it off. This one is going to sail into the end zone. That'll come out to the 20-yard line as Sioux Falls Lincoln takes over with 5 minutes and 52 seconds to play before halftime. So in this second quarter alone, we've only had field goals after 4 touchdowns in that first quarter.
It's amazing how things change. In that first game we had, was it 6-3 at the end of the, or was it 6-0?
6-3. They started the second quarter, it became 6-3, and then
Yeah,
6
and
touchdowns.
And then 6 touchdowns later, you're like, it could change in a moment's notice, and I got a feeling this game would kind of be the same way.
Tate Schaefer hands the ball off. This one goes to Drevin Hodge. He cuts back to his right on this near sideline, tried to get find some running room there, but he's going to be stopped after a gain of 1. 2nd and 9 from the 21-yard line.
Ran into a wall of Raiders there. He's just trying to cut back. Looks like Spencer Garrett was the one who cleaned him up on that.
3-man front shown by the Raider defense. They'll go with that 3-4 defense. There's the pass. Again, cutting to the inside was Jack Smith. He makes the catch, tackled at the 26-yard line. That's a gain of 5, and now 3rd and 4 coming up.
But I'll tell you what they've done. They've dropped 2 safeties back to take away that route. You play up close. He does a cut, but he's got a safety there to help out.
Again, they throw it to Smith. He's wide open down that left sideline. He's at the 40. He's at midfield. Breaks a tackle. And finally ankle tackled inside the 40 of the Raiders. But he was left wide open on that near sideline.
Yeah, there was a mixture in coverage. You saw right before the snap of the ball, the defender who was on him goes darting to the left side of the Raider formation. And great heads up by Tate Schaefer. Is like, my best receiver is wide open. I think I will get him the ball.
A 37-yard catch and run there by Jack Smith. There's the handoff. This goes to Drevin Hodge once again. He's ankle tackled just inside the 35-yard line as he tried to cut to the outside on that right side of the line. He stopped at the 34 after a gain of 3. So now 2nd and 7. We see that hurry-up offense. Tate Schaefer again from the shotgun. 1 receiver to each side. That's Smith on this near side. He's going to throw it to Smith. Single coverage. Scott was right there, but Smith makes the catch, and he has such great hands and just good rapport with Tate Schaefer. He makes that catch, and that's a first down now for the Raiders, or for the Patriots, rather.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jack Smith, he's 6 foot. But I'll tell you, he looks about 6'3", going against Julian Scott. Scott was there, but by the time that ball got in his hands, all Scott could do is just grab him to keep him from going any farther.
First down for the Patriots. Trips right. That's Schaefer. Breaks 1 tackle, still on his feet. And finally tackled at the 12-yard line after a gain of 3 yards. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Patriots, as they are knocking on the door with 3:38 remaining before halftime. They lead by 2 touchdowns. The Raiders hoping their defense can come up big right before halftime. Again, Schaefer goes from the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. He's going to throw it to Smith once again. Smith had to turn back for the football. But again, there was good coverage. I think that was number 29.
It was. That was Xander Blodgett coming back. And it's nice to know, obviously you're out on this island by yourself here, but they've got that safety who single high, so that helps in the middle at least. But there's just something different when you know that I've got help over the top.
Schaefer again hands the ball off. This one goes to Hodge, and Hodge is going to be pushed back by a couple of Raiders.
Lucas Canto, I think, was the first guy to get there. And again, we saw all of a sudden the Patriots marching right down the field, making a couple big plays here. But now we're back up to 4th down, and can the Raiders make this goal line stand? Not officially, but definitely a red zone stand.
Clock continues to run. 2 minutes and 40 seconds before halftime. The play clock is down to 12 seconds.
And they're going to have to take a timeout here.
I think they will. Now it continues to run down to 5.
Because they're not doing anything. And I saw them signal in a couple of plays, but I think they're going to give up on that.
And they are going to take a timeout.
Legitimate. You got 2:22, a pivotal play right here for the Lincoln Patriots because they want to extend that lead and after the Raiders answered with that field goal.
So 2 minutes and 22 seconds remaining here before halftime on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. is the Patriots 24, Rapid City Stevens 10. Patriots facing a 4th and 8. We will keep it here, though. We don't want to miss any of the action.
This is either going to be a trick play, not necessarily a trick play, but kind of an unorthodox play like a reverse-ish, something weird like that, or they're going to throw the ball. They're going to get a single coverage receiver running in a space somewhere. Again, it's usually the Raiders run a lot of man coverage, and so they're going to try to isolate somebody somewhere. And then they change their mind. They're going to go for the field goal.
So they will go for the field goal. That is going to be Tate Schaefer, the quarterback.
Yep, he's the kicker. This will make it a 3-score game.
Yep, and this is going to be a 30-yard field goal attempt. Ball on the left side hash mark. There's the snap, the kick.
It's wide right.
And it is no good. You're right, Dean. It was wide right. So the Patriots come up empty.
Two big defensive stands by the Raiders.
The Raiders now with a chance to, even if they could get in field goal range, we know that Parker Mesmer has a decent leg.
Yeah, he has a good leg.
So we'll see what the Raiders can do as they have, like I said, that 2-minute offense to work with now.
Yeah, and if they can just keep it together as a team, he's got the receivers who can run the routes and get the right spots if they can catch the ball. And if he can deliver it in the right spots, he's just been slightly off tonight, but definitely the potential's there.
Jed Jensen from the shotgun. He's going to roll out to the near side. Had the receiver with an out route there to Beck Morgan. He's going to run out of bounds to stop the clock after a short gain to the 26-yard line. Actually a decent gain. That's 6 yards, 2nd and 4 now for the Raiders, but the clock is stopped.
Hey, welcome Beck Morgan. Where's he been all year? I think we've called his name a couple of times, but that's been about it. He's been on fire, especially that first drive.
He was. Now they're going to go spread offense. Again, Jensen from the gun, rolls out to his left. This time, another out route, and that's going to go to Julian Scott, and I think that's going to be short of a first down. So now we're looking at 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, this is where you get an opportunity. You ran a couple of those. Now if you can get a double move out of this.
Jensen again from the gun. And was that ball tipped? I think it was well short for the receiver, so it was tipped, and the Raiders now facing a 4th and less than a yard.
And are they going to punt it? It's so risky. You don't want to give them the ball back with an opportunity, but you only got 4th and inches.
Mm-hmm. They need to get to the 30. The ball is in between the 29 and the 30-yard line. And it looks like they will go for it. They're going to go trips right, 2 receivers to the left. Empty backfield as Jensen goes from the gun. And did the Patriots or the Raiders? Patriots used the timeout.
Worth that to talk about a little bit. Mm-hmm. So looking at it right there, Jensen had a chance. I don't know what their play set up with. They're just going to try to draw him off sides or what it was, but Jensen could have ran up under center real quick, took the snap, and just followed somebody because they only had 4 down linemen. The linebackers were 4 yards off of the ball, and he could have just ran through an A-gap and got the first down that he was looking for. Of course, the linebackers probably would have came down if he did that, but...
Mm-hmm. Again, we want to thank you for listening tonight on Fox Sports Rapid City and online at foxsportsrapidcity.com, as well as those of you who are watching on GoRaidersLive.com.
So he's probably got a hot call that if anything happens, he can just grab it and just punt it downfield, make it roll. Isn't a big deal if it isn't like a huge punt.
They're going to give it to Hansen.
He's got it.
And I think with forward progress, they're going to give Hansen the forward progress out past the 30-yard line.
Nice job that time.
Or was that Wotanowicz? I know Wotanowicz ran off the field. Either way, it was Hansen or Wotanowicz. The clock is running, though. 1:40 to go.
Is it out route to...
They're going to get it to Nash Sobzak. He's going to step out of bounds to stop the clock on the Raider 37-yard line.
They are playing Cale Meisman 10 yards off. If he comes off hard and does a stop route, he's going to get 10 yards out of it because the defender will back up. Look how far off he is.
So Jensen again from the gun. He's going towards Meisman, and it goes through the hands of Meisman.
There it is. That was the play. He had it. They could see on that sidelines where he's at.
Mm-hmm. If he could have made that catch, again, it hits him in the chest, just goes through his hands there and drops to the ground, stops the clock with 90 seconds to play. 3rd and 4 coming up.
He's got to make the wild plays. He does that when he goes up in the air. He can make those, but just give him some easy ones.
They're going to go trips left, one receiver to the right.
And so it's Meisman, one-on-one. Look at this coverage on this side. He's going to go long.
Jensen drops back. And he's going to throw it deep, but looks like Meisman, he was hit at the line.
He was.
He was bumped, and now he's limping a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. He hit him, and just if you're physical within that first 5 yards, as long as you don't hold him, but you're physical and push him out of bounds. If you get pushed out of bounds, I believe you can come back in and make a play. But if you run yourself out of bounds, then you can't.
Which is what happened earlier when he ran out of bounds and tried to, and made that diving catch in the end zone.
Right.
But he appears to be okay. They're going to line up 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. In some trouble now. Jensen trying to run out of trouble. Still on his feet. He's tripped up, and he is going to be sacked back at the 36-yard line. On 4th down, the Raiders turn it over, and with 1:17 to go,
a long time.
The Patriots now have a short field to work with before halftime.
You know, in some ways you could see that. You say, look, okay, we're down 2 scorers at the moment. We're in this game, so there's just 2 schools of thought. Hey, let's keep within striking distance. Let's get the ball and make them drive the length of the field. And the other one is, hey, you know, we're down. We got a formidable opponent. Let's just take some chances.
Here's Tate Schaefer out there now. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line for Sioux Falls Lincoln. Schaefer running across the field was Jack Smith. He's still on his feet. He's at the 30, the 25, 20, and finally tackled just shy of the 15-yard line. In fact, the 17 is where they'll spot him out of bounds.
Absolutely a great play. A lot of times they'll run that trips. He'll run a tight end under play or a slot under, whatever it is, and he'll go out and do like an out route. Instead, they did an in route. He had the guys running in front of him. He just drug right across the formation, a nice little simple toss, and he ran for days. In fact, I might even have to put that in my play repertoire.
They'll hand the ball off. This one goes to Drevin Hodge, and Hodge is going to be forced out of bounds just shy of the 10-yard line. You look at the receiving yards for Schaefer this year, 5 touchdowns, 492 yards coming into this contest. We're looking at 2nd and 4 now. High snap. They'll give it off to Hodge. He spins out of one tackle, but he's going to be stopped at the 10-yard line. In fact, at the 11-yard line, right back at the line of scrimmage.
And the Patriots have no timeouts left, so they can't stop it. But they're so effective on their no-huddle offense. Who needs timeouts?
Mm-hmm. Again, Schaefer will drop back. Being pressured, throws for the corner of the end zone.
Did he make that catch?
Are they saying
he did? He made the catch. It looked like a one-handed catch. It was Jack Smith.
So Smith made the touchdown. I never saw them hold up the...
No, I didn't either, but he turned around, and then everybody started cheering, and the announcer at least said it was a touchdown, and they're lining up as if it was.
So that looks like that would be the 4th touchdown of the first half for Jack Smith. That one was from, I think it was from the 12-yard line. Here's the extra point attempt by Tate Schaefer. That one is good. 31 seconds remaining, and Sioux Falls Lincoln extends their lead on the State Farm scoreboard. It's Sioux Falls Lincoln 31, Rapid City Stevens 10. We're back in 30 seconds right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
we switch on the
At Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, we are here to help you make your comeback. Our team is standing by to diagnose and treat your injury with some of the most advanced treatment options available and same-day appointments. Monument Health practitioners work closely with our therapists and physicians in communities throughout the Black Hills, with locations in Rapid City and Spearfish. Visit monument.health/orthopedics for more information. That's monument.health/orthopedics for more information.
Dunham Field at O'Hara Stadium to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. 31-10 is your score. Sioux Falls Lincoln over Rapid City Stevens on the State Farm scoreboard. Of course, we like to thank all of our sponsors who help us bring you high school sports, all of our local sponsors. So Sioux Falls Lincoln, after that touchdown, the fourth tonight for Jack Smith. Here's the kickoff. This one is going to bounce inside the 20-yard line, picked up by Corder Doney. Doney cuts it to the outside, running down the left sideline, and he's going to be running out of bounds. We'll see where they spot the football. About the 36-yard line, but just a tough break for the Raiders. They tried to keep their drive alive. They gave the Patriots a short field, and the Patriots capitalized.
Yep, you gamble and you lost. It was a 50-50 gamble. It worked the first time. It didn't work the second time.
Again, it's homecoming for the Raiders. They will announce the homecoming royalty at halftime. Our halftime show is coming up in just a matter of 25 seconds. They'll hand it off to Hansen. Hansen breaks it to the outside, pulling a defender with him. He goes out of bounds at the 41-yard line. In fact, they'll keep the clock running. Down to 10 seconds now as the Raiders need to hurry if they want to get one more play off. They'll go trips right, one receiver to the left.
Nope.
And they did not get it off. No, I didn't think they did, but Hansen has the football. Following his blocker, he's going to be stopped in Lincoln territory at the 46-yard line. And that's going to do it. That's the end of the first half here at O'Hara Stadium. On the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick, your halftime score, Sioux Falls Lincoln 31, Rapid City Stevens 10. We're back in 2 minutes with our halftime show right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, and online at foxsportsrapidcity.com as well as GoRaidersLive.com.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with Colton, who's right here in the area. And a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of Colton today, and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
The cars, trucks, and SUVs you're looking for are at Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda. Shop imports and domestics, many local one-owner trade-ins, plus the area's best selection of pre-owned Hondas and Honda certified pre-owned. With qualified credit, buy with no money down, and get financing available as low as 1.99% APR. Great prices and low finance rates make now the best time to buy. See Danny Menholt Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com. Finance rate available on select Honda certified pre-owned. Length of contract is limited. The cars, truck.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visit Spearfish.com now.
Star Spangled Banner.
And welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales, Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. We're back here at Dunham Field at O'Hara Stadium with Dean Gurr. I'm Jerome Wickersham. It's the halftime show right here on Fox Sports Rapid City as well as foxsportsrapidcity.com. Of course, it's homecoming for the Rapid City Stevens Raiders as they are taking on the Sioux Falls Lincoln Patriots, but this first half has belonged to the Patriots as Sioux Falls Lincoln leads 31-10. You know, Dean, we saw the Raiders just jump out with that opening drive. They score the touchdown. They go up 7-0. But the biggest thing I think we both can agree that has hindered the the Raiders here in this first half has just been the amount of penalties that they have had.
Yeah, I swear they've had a dozen of them. And it's funny because there wasn't any on that opening drive, and even when the Patriots got the ball, but then as the game continued, they just mounted and mounted and mounted, and it was just you feel like you're running through mud trying to get somewhere. You're like a mud run or something. You're not going anywhere. You're working your legs hard, but it's just not doing anything, and they just bog you down so much. And then they kind of cleared up a little bit. And then all of a sudden the Raiders started making some plays here and there. I think the defense stiffened up for the Raiders. They were able to kind of hold the Patriots. It was kind of a bend, don't break type of situation. The Patriots were able to move down the field, but when they got in or near that red zone, the Raiders were able to come up with some plays and able to at least force only a field goal until that last gamble that they took that didn't pay off, and then it gave the Patriots an opportunity to get in that end zone, that late touchdown that they had there. But for the most part, yeah, it's really been the tale of the penalty team that's out there and the non-penalty team. The non-penalty team is out there making plays for the most part and doing some amazing things, coming up short a few times, but for the most part, doing a lot of things right. The penalty team, which was kind of about the middle of that half, was we're gonna march more backwards than forwards, and it's just so frustrating if you see a team out there who already has an uphill battle because this Lincoln Patriot team is big, they're fast, they got lots of talent in lots of different lots of positions. So you're up against a formidable opponent, and then you're over here shooting yourself in the foot. Really hard to watch it kind of game in and game out. You can almost plan for how well the game's going to go based on how many penalties the Raiders have. It's almost that much like clockwork, and unfortunately, it's reared its ugly head too many times. But there's definitely lots of life there. I mean, it's definitely not out of reach. It's a 3-score game, so obviously it's going to be an uphill battle again for them. But they have playmakers, and as long as you got playmakers and you don't, drop the other mistakes that happen, we're going to add to that as part of our pregame keys to the game. The fumbles, the miscues on some routes and some pass plays. Jensen is doing a lot of great things tonight, but he's been off the mark probably 3 or 4 times. Probably a couple touchdowns in those opportunities that he just was unable to connect with. So that's just how close that they are to this game being tied for all intents and purposes. So it's definitely not out of reach, but the Raiders definitely have to clean it up and get together and play a solid second half.
31-10 is your score at halftime. Sioux Falls Lincoln leading Rapid City Stevens. Breaking down this scoring in the first quarter, again, the opening drive, Jed Jensen took it 21 yards to pay dirt, and that made it 7-0. The Raiders struck first. They had that momentum. And, things were clicking. The crowd was into it. It was just a great opening drive for the Raiders. But then Jack Smith took over. He scored 3 straight touchdowns. He had an 18-yard touchdown strike from Tate Schaefer, a 46-yard touchdown, and a 26-yard touchdown, all in the first quarter, and it was 21-7 at the end of the first quarter. And then a couple of field goals in the second. Tate Schaefer, who's the quarterback, hit one from 39 yards to put Sioux Falls Lincoln up 24-7. The Raiders cut it to a 2-touchdown lead. with 5:52 to go in the second quarter as Parker Mesmer put it through the uprights from 38 yards out, and it was 24-10 at that point. But then late in the game, like we mentioned, the Raiders took a gamble. They went for it on fourth down on a short field, they went for it on fourth down. They turned it over. They gave Sioux Falls Lincoln a short field, and we had a 12-yard touchdown strike to Jack Smith, his fourth touchdown of the game. He had 5 coming into this ball game, and it's 31-10 here at halftime. Dean, what can the Raiders do to slow down the Jack Smith show?
Well, they have definitely shown that they have that ability. Now, what they're probably going to have to do, and it's kind of hard because the multiple levels of talent that the Patriots bring kind of do what the St. Thomas More Cavaliers did when they played Sturgis last week. They put that second one over their key receiver, and they took him away from the game. Now, that's hard to do because of how well that the Patriots run the ball, but you're going to have to do something, at least disguise your coverages somehow, some way. They already made the adjustments in game. They were all playing up close. Their safeties were playing up to the line of scrimmage. It was one-on-one, bump and run, press coverage on the exterior, and that didn't work. They got torched by that. So they started changing it. They went to a cover 2 at one time. They did a cover 1 at one time. They at least made some adjustments to try to alleviate how well the passing game works for the Patriots. But what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to hinge that safety over to the side of the field that Jack Smith is on, force them to go somewhere else. Now, they got plenty of talent. They've got other guys as well. But, right now Jack Smith's kind of doing a lot for them. And they're going to have to start with that and then make adjustments from there.
And again, here at halftime, 31-10, Sioux Falls Lincoln leading Rapid City Stevens here at Raider Homecoming 2022. We just want to congratulate the homecoming royalty, the king and queen for Rapid City Stevens. It was Nash Sobzak and also Maddie Cutler. That is your homecoming king and queen for Rapid City Stevens for 2022. So congratulations to them tonight. That's Nash Sobzak and Maddie Cutler. So we'll see what adjustments the Raiders do make. Right now, the Raider Marching Band, they're out on the field as they're performing here at halftime. We are going to take a 2-minute break. When we come back, our halftime show resumes as we go through some scores for you and get you set for the second half when we return in 2 minutes right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City and foxsportsrapidcity.com.
On Jackson Boulevard in Rapid City, South Dakota, famous for their delicious cakes, cupcakes, and other tasty baked goods. But did you know they're the only bakery in town to offer free consultations? Not to mention free samples when planning your big or small wedding. They also take special orders for that special party for that special someone. Check out their daily specials on Facebook or call ahead to grab some goodies for the office on your way to work. Star Spangled Batter is a proud sponsor of Rapid City sports and activities on liveticket.tv.
Would you buy your insurance from a cartoon character?
What's up, Doc?
Cartoons are good for a laugh, but when you're in an accident or you need your home covered and need help, it's no laughing matter. That's why you need a real person, like Lance at Van Z Insurance Associates. It's not just simple insurance either. Lance has you covered with home, life, auto, and business. Van Z Insurance is your place to call. Stop by today or give Lance a call at 605-393-2399.
Your first car.
21-10 is your score here at halftime on the State Farm scoreboard as Sioux Falls Lincoln leads Rapid City Stevens here at the Raider homecoming game. Again, we want to look at some other scores if you're just tuning in. Of course, earlier tonight, it was the Rapid City Central homecoming game, and earlier tonight, a tough game for Rapid City Central as they lost to Sioux Falls Roosevelt. 47-18 was the final. Again, just a tough game for the Cobblers. They just fell behind, early and just could not recover. They're now 0-6 on the season with 3 games remaining. Of course, the Raiders is who the Cobblers will face in the regular season. So we'll see what the next 3 weeks bring for all these teams as they fight and kind of jockey for playoff positions.
Yeah, I definitely. It's just, unfortunately, Cobblers just outmatched against Sioux Falls Roosevelt. And I'm quite intrigued to see the Roosevelt Raider game that is 2 weeks from tonight, or rather 2 weeks from tomorrow in Sioux Falls. That's a very intriguing game.
Will be, of course, it's first win of the season for Sioux Falls Roosevelt. And for Rapid City Stevens, that could really, who wins that game could move them up with position. So it definitely has importance coming down this final 3 weeks of the season. Also tonight, number 1 Sioux Falls Jefferson all over number 2 O'Gorman at Howard Wood Field tonight, 42-17. I think it's clear, Dean, who that top team right now is in Class 11 AAA. I mean, they are dominating everyone. As Sioux Falls Jefferson is the only undefeated team in the largest class.
They are ridiculously talented everywhere. They're big, they're physical up front. They've got speed everywhere at all positions. They've got 2, 3 incredible receivers. Griffin Wilde is an amazing one. I can't think of the other one. 2 amazing receivers. Then you've got Taylon Ashley that can run around like Jed Jensen does. Mm-hmm. You've got a running back core that the backup is almost as good as the initial Nelson Wright, I believe is the kid's name. He has been out. I don't know if he was back tonight, but they are just amazing at all facets of the game. And unfortunately for the Raiders, they get to host them next week.
And some other scores tonight. Pierre defeats Brandon Valley 43-34. Pierre undefeated in Class 11 AA. And Pierre at one point, they were trailing 28-7 to Brandon Valley. They come back and get the 9-point win, 43-34. What can you say about the Governors?
Yeah, they did the same thing last year in the championship game. They were trailing the T area, and then Lincoln Keenholz does what Lincoln Keenholz does. He's like, I'm headed to Washington, but on my way, I'm going to take a lot of trophies with me.
Also, some other scores. Harrisburg, they are leading in the fourth quarter over Sioux Falls, Washington, 29-0 in Class 11 AAA. From earlier tonight, T area over Sturgis Brown High School, 57-7. T area, but when they moved up to AA, they definitely proved why they need to be there.
It's anything south of Sioux Falls, because Harrisburg did the same thing. They took 1 year, and then by the time they were in their second year in AAA, they're winning their state title.
Also, Huron over Douglas tonight, 32-14. That game being played there at Tiger Stadium in Huron. It was Yankton 38, Brookings 27. Just only the second loss of the year for Brookings. So now both Yankton and Brookings are 4-2 on the year. Again, the Bucks beat the Bobcats 38-27. I know you pointed out earlier too, Dean, over there at Lyle Hare Stadium, Spearfish over Mitchell 26-21. Is that the second win of the season, I think, for the Spartans?
Yeah, I think so. So I think Spearfish is kind of coming on a little bit. We saw that, I think their opening game, and they played the St. Thomas More Cavaliers, really just struggled that night against the Cavaliers. But I think they've kind of regrouped and are playing much better.
And Aberdeen Central, they down Watertown tonight, 17-0 is the final there. Over at the Prospector Bowl, up there at Ferguson Field in Deadwood, which is, I know, one of my favorite fields here in the Black Hills. I know you too, Dean.
Love it.
Belfouche over Lakota Tech tonight, 51-20. Madison gets by number 5 Canton, 21-14. I think in Class 11A, you really can't count Madison out. They seem to always be right in the thick of things as well.
Always. They have their up and down years like every team does, but they're still competitive no matter how down they are.
Mm-hmm. There was a big game in Class 11A tonight. Number 2, Del Rapids, and number 3, Beersford. And it's Del Rapids. They remain undefeated as they defeat Beersford 20-6. Of course, St. Thomas More has to travel on the road to end the regular season as they go to Del Rapids.
Yeah, that's in 2 weeks. Of course, they play around Collie tomorrow, and then, they have Del Rapids who, they're a formidable opponent, and they'll definitely get them set up for the playoffs and see where they need to be.
Absolutely. Sioux Falls Christian over Millbank tonight, 35-6. It was Lee Deadwood actually leading Custer right now in the fourth quarter, 10 minutes left, 40-3. So Lee Deadwood on their way to picking up their third win of the season. One that I was looking for, Woonsocket Wessington Springs. That's a game right now that could be even a possible matchup, a team that St. Thomas More might play depending on how things kind of shake out here. But Woonsocket Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central, they defeat Mobridge Pollock tonight, 42-24 is that final score. And then the biggest win in Class B, or the biggest game that we thought, number 1 and number 2, Winner and Bridgewater Emory Ethan. Looks like it was no contest there.
Yeah, I think I've heard people say, I'll let them remain nameless, that Bridgewater number 2, probably not the number 2. Elk Point Jefferson is probably the number 2, and I think that just reared its ugly head tonight. Not ugly head, that just proved it tonight as Elk Point Jefferson gets the 55-0 win over Miller Highmore Herald. So I'm sure when the rankings come out, we're going to see Winner, we're going to see EPJ, and probably Mount Vernon will probably be number 3.
I think so.
Then Bridgewater, my guess will be number 4. That's just, I don't have a vote, so I get to say what I want.
So Winner defeats Bridgewater Emory Ethan 36-0. And so Winner remains undefeated on the season, and Bridgewater drops their first contest of the season. Looking at some other games tonight.
Don't miss the Rapid City Christian game.
That's what I was
55-8 over the Hill City Rangers up there in Hill City.
So the Comets now 3-2 on the year?
Yep, they are. They're right there. Like I said, they play. I can't remember who they played. That's right in front of me. What am I doing? Why would I even second guess? They got a tough game next week because they play they got 2 tough games. And they are actually 4-2 on the year. They're 4-2. I think I missed a game. They're 4-2 on the year, and they got 2 tough games coming up. Of course, they have Hot Springs coming up, who still didn't get any respect and still is only receiving votes not in the top 5, which is very shocking to me because Hot Springs is a very tough one. And then the aforementioned Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central, that is who Rapid City Christian will wrap their season up with, at least the regular season. And I think a good chance to sneak in the playoffs could be. That's my guess. Obviously, there's plenty of ball to be played and the right people win the right games. But
I wanted to pass along a quick one tonight. Number 2 in Class 9AA, number 2 Wall defeated Hardin County Bison 55-0. We thought that would be a big matchup, but we know that it is the second loss of the year for Hardin County Bison, but Wall, just another dominating season for them.
Yeah, absolutely. They got a ridiculously good field over there. I love it. But they got players. They're always a powerhouse. They've had some years where they were down a little bit, but Hardin County was always one of the premier teams, and unfortunately the last several years just not quite getting where they need to be. I don't know if they need to grow more kids or what's going on over there. Incorporate a couple more towns into their little fold.
Well, that's going to wrap up our halftime show as we are ready to kick things off for the start of the second half. Again, just a reminder, Matt Kearney has Score Central coming up at the end of our broadcast tonight, where he is going to recap all the scores from across the state. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Again, at the end of our broadcast tonight, it's Score Central with Matt Kearney right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. But we are ready to kick things off. The Raiders trailing 31-10 to start this third quarter. They will be kicking from right to left. As we look out from the park ramp side, there's Parker Mesmer. It's going to take a bounce at the 20, picked up by the returner. That's going to be, again, number 10.
Connor Gray.
Yeah, Connor Gray. Connor Gray, the 5'11", 185-pound sophomore.
So we're going to see right away, we talked about the fact that the Raider defense made the adjustments and kind of stiffened up a little bit there in that second quarter, was able to, aside from the little hiccup on the gamble and loss play right at the end of that second quarter, they were able to bend, not break, and we'll see if they can do the same thing again here in the second half.
1st and 10 from the 25. Here's Tate Schaefer, fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right, has a receiver. That's Jack Smith. Sheds a couple of tacklers. He's going down the right sideline, still on his feet as he cuts back, and he's going to take it all the way into Raider territory. How many tackles did he just break or shed on that run that time?
Yeah, right. At least 4 or 5. So between Sam Hinbergen and Jack Smith, two big, solid players out there. Good luck getting him down. And you saw the Raiders running around. That second safety needed to come over for the help, and that's the adjustment they needed to do, but they did not get over there in time.
A 28-yard catch and run by Jack Smith. Now on 1st down, they hand the ball off to Drevin Hodge. He's going to go to the right side, find a seam or a crease there on the right side, and take it down to the 43-yard line.
So the Raiders have gone to a cover 2, but even on that Jack Smith side.
2nd and 5 from the 42-yard line is what they say on the scoreboard. Schaefer from the gun, hands it off. It'll go to Hodge once again. He gets through the hole. He's going to take it inside the 35-yard line. In fact, they'll mark it at the 35. That's going to be a gain of about 7 yards. That'll move the chains. 1st down for the Patriots.
The Raiders have bailed on that cover 2 and dropped back into the way they started the game, man-to-man, up close, no safety. The safety's playing up like a linebacker.
Schaefer again has some time. He's going to throw it. Tried to get it to Connor Gregg, but instead it's incomplete.
That was a nice play by number 19, Aiden Unterbrenner. Stayed right with him, was able to get a hand up just at that last second and knock the ball away.
So incomplete pass, 2nd and 10 from the 35 of the Raiders. Tate Schaefer goes from the shotgun, 2 receivers lined up to the right. Ball on the left side hash, hands it off to Hodge. He breaks it to the left side. Able to get by 1 tackler, still on his feet. And we're going to see some laundry there on that left side. A penalty marker flies in.
And it's likely going, unless it's a face mask, it's likely going to be a hold as they're kind of driving over there. And there's so many piles of people, and you see the official. And I think that's Paul Whitcraft on that far side.
It is. He's on that far side. That's going to be holding, so that's going to back it up 10 yards there for Sioux Falls Lincoln back to the 44-yard line. They say 43-yard line, so 2nd and 18 coming up for Sioux Falls Lincoln. They're going to send 3 receivers right. Hodge is going to go to the left from the gun now, dropping back. Throw it till they get it to Smith, just crossing there. Smith on his feet. He's at the 30, down to the 25-yard line, forced out of bounds.
Boy, they ran that play earlier, and boy, do they run it to picture-perfect perfection. You've got the tailback who just does a little outlet move. Everyone draws their attention. So on the snap of the ball, now they look back. Receivers are heading up the field. That opens up underneath route and just drag right across the middle for Jack Smith. And again, he's a load to bring down.
1st and 10. They're going to throw it to the end zone. It is up for grabs. It's incomplete, but a flag in the end zone. Likely pass interference against Rapid City Stevens. They were trying to get it to Connor Gray in the end zone.
Yeah, and he wasn't anywhere near, so it makes you wonder what happened there. And the penalties that we talked about in the first half, that's the first one for the Raiders here in this second half.
So they move the football now down to the 12-yard line.
That's going to be enough for a first down, so we're going to move the chains. Here's where they get to stiffen up. They've bent. Now let's see if they break.
1st and 10 for Sioux Falls Lincoln. Schaefer from the gun. Hands it off to Hodge. He'll take it right up the middle. Hodge gets down to the 5-yard line, or about the 6-yard line. That's a gain of 6 yards. 2nd and 4 now. We haven't seen a lot of Mosi Muhammad. It's been mostly Drevin Hodge who
Right,
came
yeah.
in.
He was in very early, and then he kind of, I don't know if anything happened to him on the sideline or whatever, but put him on the sideline rather.
Schaefer gives the ball. It'll go to Hodge, and he dives forward. He's going to get down to the 2-yard line. We're looking at 3rd down coming up, 3rd and short. Or is it a first down? It's now going to be 1st and goal. 1st and goal. Hodge again. He's wrapped up, and he's going to be pushed back for a yard. In fact, ankle tackled back at the 2-yard line.
Well, you can see a setup right here. They've ran 3 straight inside. So they may run one more, and they may pull it out and hit a quick slant.
2nd and goal now. They'll give it to Hodge. He's hit in the backfield. The ball is loose. It's picked up by the Raiders. The ball is loose, still on his feet.
Whoa.
He's at the 30, the 40. He's at midfield, being chased by Hodge and going out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Did you get a number
I
on?
didn't. It was 20, I want to say 20-something, maybe 42.
I didn't catch the number, but it was picked up by the Raiders after a fumble.
And you saw Tate Schaefer is like, oh, no, you're not going to get away from me. And, man, they fight, and they broke away. And, boy, what a turn of events. We're talking about bend, don't break. That's what happened right there. Now the Raiders are in business. Can they capitalize? Can they close this to a 2-score game?
So Jed Jensen comes out. The Raider offense goes to work. They'll hand it to Hansen. Hansen has very little running room. It was 1st and 10 for the Raiders from the 33-yard line. Yeah, I think that the returner that time, or who recovered the fumble, it was 20-something.
Yeah, it could have been Lucas Canta.
That's what I was
20.
thinking, Lucas Canta.
Could have been Xander Blodge at 29.
Mm-hmm. Any of those players, we just
it
didn't.
was probably not Blodgett because he was the cornerback, and that
but I
came
think
up
maybe
the middle.
Canta. So again, 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's Jensen once again. He's going to hand it off to Hansen. As they go with 2 straight runs here, he's going to take it inside the 30 down to the 29 for a gain of 4 yards. 3rd and 6 coming up. Raiders trail 31-10. What a touchdown would do right now for the Raiders.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, just even the spirits just lift. I mean, they've already got it. Take that adrenaline, take that momentum, and carry it with you.
Jensen will send 2 receivers to the left. Has Sobzak lined up to the right. In some trouble. Jensen out of the pocket. Down the right sideline. Does he have enough for the first down? I think he does. He'll step out of bounds at the 19-yard line. That's going to be a 10-yard gain and a Raider first down. So Jensen doing it with his legs on that play.
And I'll tell you what, he had to do that because of the physicality of the defensive backs of the Lincoln Patriots. Cale Meisman is here on the perimeter. He's standing right next to the sideline. And he gets literally tied up and cannot get off the line of scrimmage.
Again, 2 receivers to the left as the Raiders go from right to left. Sobzak moves to the left of the line. I think we're going to get a timeout. Yeah. There was 1 second left on the play clock. So the Raiders will have to burn a timeout here in this 3rd quarter with 7:17 remaining And the Raiders in the red zone trying to cut into this 21-point Sioux Falls Lincoln lead.
Yeah, they had to call the timeout. It's just unfortunate that they had to at that time. Now, let's get back to what we've seen multiple times here as this game has progressed along. We've seen Cale Meisman, he'll line up on the perimeter. I don't know. Earlier, he was going against Ethan Wassman, but I've seen some other guys. I've seen Mason Bolkema, line up with him, and they have that press coverage, and they do it so well, and they're not holding, but they are chucking him so well and really just disrupting the timing, which is exactly what that does. So Jensen's getting back. He's expecting just a timing route to float the ball up in the air, either on a post or a go route, and it's not there because the timing is broke up so well.
Raiders come out of the timeout now, facing 1st and 10 from their own, from the Patriot 19. Jensen throws back to the left. Scott makes the catch. Julian Scott inside the 15-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 4 yards. We're now looking at 2nd and 6.
And Scott he runs a little back, kind of what's called a backdoor curl route. He kind of curls, but then you throw the ball to the opposite side because the defender was on the inside, so he threw it to the outside. Even though it was a kind of a little curl or a settle right there, gets that spot where he needs to because you can see the defenders are playing him off a little bit.
Raiders are going to go trips right with Meisman lined up to the left on single coverage as Hansen lined up to the
post
right.
Route would get this right here.
There's Jensen, right side, gets it to Scott. Scott breaks one tackle, still on his feet, down into the dives forward. He's going to be out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. 7-yard line, but again, that's going to be enough for a first down. So now 1st and goal coming up for the Raiders.
Yeah, a great little hitch route that time. They were playing him off so far that they just threw it to that direction. You had a couple blockers on that side. Again, he skirts the first guy that got to him. That's your job on those hitch routes because you usually have one guy in front of you. You break that one and you have an opportunity.
1st and goal for the Raiders. Out of the gun. They'll hand it off to Hansen. He cuts back to his right. Still on his feet. He's going to get inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line.
How about Hansen having a nose for the hole right there? His hole that he was headed to was closed up. He just took a step to the right and kept firing and lunged forward, getting about 3 on that. Good job, good hard running.
Hansen, 5'8", 185 pounds. Taking over the primary back duties this season. They'll send Scott and Meisman to the left. Scott out of the slot from the gun. They'll hand it off to Hansen again. Hansen right up the middle, and he was met. Still kept his feet moving as he hit a brick wall there, but still smashed through it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of surprised they ran that play. The Patriots loaded the box that time, and you kind of saw it. You're like, hey, just hit one of your guys on a slant route on the inside. They seal a guy. You got a touchdown right there, but instead, I thought it was just going to be a play action and pull it and hit him.
We're looking like 3rd and goal now from the 2.
There it is.
Jensen tried to get it to Meisman in the back of the end zone. Instead, it's incomplete, and now 4th and goal from the 2 coming up for the Raiders. I think there's no choice what they need to do right now, or no.
Yeah, absolutely.
No guessing. They will have to go for it to try to stay in this ball game.
Yeah,
or get back into it.
100%. So that last play, they did exactly that. They did the play action. Everybody collapsed, but again, Meisman could not get off of his route. That's who he went for. I thought maybe he might go for Scott, who did the more of the little skinny post, the quick slant route. He was the inside guy, but instead he went for Meisman on the outside, and Meisman just does not get off of, which is surprising. Because Meisman's a pretty physical guy. We watched him play basketball at Central last year, and he was fiery. That instant spark. Once he got on that floor, it really changed things. He fouled out, several times, but you could see the football player in him, and I think he's having fun over here playing for the Raiders. But right now, their defensive backs just have him stymied.
So Michael Scott, head coach of the Raiders, calls timeout as the Raiders face 4th and goal from the 2-yard line with 5:13 remaining in the third quarter. They trail 31-10 to Sioux Falls Lincoln on the State Farm scoreboard. We'll see what kind of personnel the Raiders come back out with or how they line up here. They're going to go 3 receivers to the right.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jensen calls his own number.
He's already scored once tonight on a 21-yard run.
He's going to drop back. He's going to fake and then run it in himself.
From the gun now, dropping back, being pressured. He's hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Tried to get it to Meisman, but again, he was hit. He had to deliver the ball quickly.
Meisman was almost nowhere in sight. The throw was up. It didn't float. I don't know if he's going to try to float it. It didn't. It wasn't a bullet, and it wasn't a floater. It was kind of halfway in between. But either way, Meisman, he wasn't even ready for it. His back was to the ball, and the defender had a better play on it.
Yeah, Jed Jensen had to get rid of the ball quickly. But unfortunately, the Raiders turn it over on downs. They do pin the Patriots deep. But now we have to see the Raiders' defense. They come back out, forced again to make another big play. Schaefer out of the back of the end zone on the quarterback keeper. Still on his feet. He's at the 15, the 20, and he will run out of bounds.
We really haven't seen him do that much tonight, but he definitely has that ability. He's a moderately athletic quarterback as quarterbacks go. It's a scale curve. You got to grade them on. And so I've seen him do it multiple times. So tonight he just hasn't needed to.
First down after that run by Tate Schaefer. He rolls out of the pocket, being pressured, gets rid of the football. His receiver comes back and makes the catch. That's, of course, it's Jack Smith. You knew that that'd be his go-to receiver. So
they stopped the clock, but I don't know why.
Do we have an injured player?
That's what I was wondering.
Brad Gilbert, the trainer, is coming out there to check on number 42. For the Raiders. Do you have a 42 there, Dean?
Good question. I do. Carter Gilbert.
Carter Gilbert, his son.
There you go. Just look at that. It took 3 or 4 guys at least to push him over. Was that Hindbergen? No. It's 32 for the Lincoln Patriots. That is Gabriel Gutierrez.
He's 6'3", 215-pound running back. So the Raiders, again, they were inside the 5-yard line, got down to the 2, could not get the touchdown. They come away empty. Now their defense trying to make another big stop.
This is going up the middle.
2nd and 6 from the 36-yard line. They hand it off. It goes this time to Mosi Muhammad, who's back in the ball game, number 5. He is tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
Switching in a couple of people there. Caden Strong, nose tackle there, did a great job, got off his block and met him in the backfield. I think he lost a yard at least on that play.
Now 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 from the 35-yard line. They need to get to the 42 for a first down. Tate Schaefer will go from the shotgun.
Play action.
There's the quick pass, and it is incomplete. Intended for Connor Gray. He looks around like, hey, there's no flag.
Right, and hard to tell as far away as we are, but, it was close.
It was.
I don't know exactly. He came from the backside, and sometimes you just got to, get the perfect angle. If he has an opportunity to catch it, you come from the backside, yeah.
So on 4th and 6 after that incomplete pass, a defensive stop there, and so the Raiders will have the football. Corderdoni back deep at the 30. 3:22 remaining, 31-10. Sioux Falls Lincoln leading Rapid City Stevens on the State Farm scoreboard. There's the kick. Doney backs up, takes it at the 25-yard line. Finds a little bit of a running hole there, and he was hit hard as he is getting up slow. He was hit at the 30-yard line.
Coverage was good that time. He wanted to run to his right, but the the coverage came down very well and forced him back up the middle where he had more help. We got 2 flags on the field. One on the near side, one on the far side. See how we sort that out and let the Raiders get back on the field, assuming we don't punt the ball again.
It is against the Raiders, so they would have had the ball at the 30.
And was it a hold?
I didn't quite. Of course, the official points towards the grandstand, so I didn't quite see exactly what it was.
You can't see through his shirt?
I can't. So the Raiders will be back. It was a 10-yard penalty. They're back now at their own 20-yard line, going from right to left. Jed Jensen from the shotgun follows his blockers on the quarterback keeper. Has some running room, stays in bounds. No, he stepped out of bounds at the 25. I thought when he made his cut, he might have stayed in bounds, but they're going to say no.
See, that's the play I thought they were going to run
down on this end?
Yeah, on that 4th down play. They were going to do something like that, call his own number, get some blockers out in front of him, but they put everybody overload to the right side. That trips on the right side and single on the other side. And I thought they're going to load over there, and he's going to pull some guys out in front of him, and then they're going to lead block. But that didn't happen.
5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 coming up from the 25-yard line of the Raiders. Down to 3 minutes to play here in this 3rd quarter. It's the homecoming for the Rapid City Stevens Raiders. Jensen from the gun, and they're going to blow it dead. Did we get... It's coming from
the Jeremy Henwood, the umpire.
False start against the Raiders. Again, they've seen their share tonight. It's only the 3rd quarter, so maybe not as many as we saw in the first half, but still, penalty flags have just plagued the Raiders just all season long.
Yeah, there's something to say about snap counts and such. If you got a team that's struggling like the Raiders are with snap counts, just, change it up a bit. If you're not using motion, then use a silent snap count, something like that to give yourselves an opportunity to at least not back yourselves up.
There's a pass to the right side, caught by Scott. He tried to break out of the tackle, but he's going to be tackled from behind right at the 25-yard line. Dean, we did have, I had Matt on this, Matt Kearney, our great production guy there at the studio.
The extended Kearney files, is that what you're saying?
It was Lucas Canta on that return after the fumble by Sioux Falls Lincoln, who returned it to about the 32-yard line.
Does he have like a research team on the sideline or what?
Matt is, he's just brilliant at all this stuff. But it was Lucas Canta.
He's got eyes everywhere.
And this is going to be Jensen again. He has enough for the 1st down on 3rd and 4 from the 26. He's going to take it out to the, looks like the 39-yard line. So that's a 13-yard gain there by Jed Jensen, who's starting to use his legs on this drive.
Yeah, you got to do something. What that does is his ability to run like that, that's going to force the defensive backs to stay true to where they're at. The linebackers are going to have to freeze to where they're at because they don't want to over-pursue the play, and that's going to open up more opportunities.
They'll fake the handoff to Hansen. They go to the right side. That's going to be Nash Sobzak on that far side. He makes the catch. Forward progress was stopped. So he is going to be stopped at the 45-yard line. That's going to be a short gain, actually about 6 yards. So now 2nd and 4 coming up. 2nd and 4 for the Raiders. 90 seconds remaining here in this 3rd quarter. The score remains 31-10. We have not had any scoring yet in this 2nd half. Jensen from the gun once again. Hands the ball off to Corder Doney, and Doney with nowhere to go with the football.
He had a blocker, and I think the blocker was blocking one side, and Doney went that side, but then he stopped and cut back to the inside, and the blocker just shed, the tackler just shed his blocker and was able to, collect that. He had a host of Patriots white jerseys right behind him, so he wasn't going to go much any place, but at least reading the block, doing a good job that time.
So still 3rd and 4. No gain that time by Corderdoni. They'll go spread offense, 2 receivers to each side. From the gun once again, rolling out to his right, making the throw. It's going to be caught by Beck Morgan. Morgan at the 40, still on his feet. The 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Beck Morgan from 55 yards.
How about that play by Beck Morgan? He just runs a simple out route. Jensen gets the ball. He rolls out to his right. Great strike, and then he steps away from one tackle and puts on the afterburners, 55 yards, and the Raiders are in business.
The Raiders desperately needed a big play. The defense was holding them here in this 3rd quarter. And again, a huge 55-yard scoring strike to Beck Morgan. Here's the extra point attempt, and this one is good.
I'll tell you what, when those out routes, if you run a crisp, solid out route, they are so hard to defend. If you can run the route well and you can deliver that ball where it needs to be, you've got the defender trailing you, and you've got other people up the sidelines, or rather stretching the field out because you send people deep. That allows you, when you get that ball, all of a sudden now you just got to negotiate and outrun, and that's all he did. He just put on the jets. You saw the defender behind him, and he was losing ground quickly.
This has been probably the best game we've seen from Beck Morgan, and we've only seen a handful of the Raider games this season. But Beck Morgan, wow, he has just been impressive in this ball game.
Yes, absolutely, and boy, did they really need that. Now it's it's right in now just a 2-score game. Their defense is bending and not breaking so far, creating opportunities. The Raiders are hanging around.
On the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick, 28 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's the Sioux Falls Lincoln Patriots 31, Rapid City Stevens 17 is your score. Here comes Parker Mesmer. He is out after kicking the extra point. He will kick off from the 40. Looks like Connor Gray, he is back deep to receive for Sioux Falls Lincoln. Here's the kick by Mesmer. This one just a short kick. It's going to take a bounce inside the 25.
There's a huge hole there. As the Patriots set up, I kind of looked at it and I was like, okay, their front guys are in about the 40-ish, 35-yard line, and then there's a big gap of about 20 yards until you get your last set of 3 guys that were all the way back deep. Of course, we know the leg that Mesmer has, and so he just found the hole. He's like, you know what, I'm just going to dupe into the hole, make him pick up a football, which is hard to pick up because it rolls around so weird.
That's what Mosi Muhammad had nowhere to go with that football. 1st and 10, 26 seconds remaining from the 20.
Bad snap.
The 18-yard line. It's Tate Schaefer, and he's going to be wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and the snaps really haven't been much of an issue tonight. We know we've had a new snapper in for the Patriots, but that one was kind of off to the side, and I don't know if it was a designed run or he just took it and ran with it. Looks like Sam Sherrill, if I'm not mistaken, was the linebacker who came in and was able to bring him down.
That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter here at Dunham Field at O'Hara Stadium. It's Rapid City Stevens Homecoming 2022. On the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. After 3, Sioux Falls Lincoln with the lead over Rapid City Stevens, 31-17 is your score. We'll return in 30 seconds with the start of the 4th quarter, right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City and foxsportsrapidcity.com, as well as GoRaidersLive.com.
Not have been perfect, but that didn't matter. You loved it because you worked hard for it. You took care of it, and it took care of you, your friends, and maybe that someone special. And through it all, we were there working with you, for you, to make sure it was a smooth ride. Farmers Union Insurance. More choices, great rates, local agents. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today. Your first.
When you ask for Black Hills Surgical Hospital, you ask for someone who believes in hospitality. You ask for someone who treats everyone like a VIP and believes the absolute best shouldn't cost more and makes you feel comfortable, even when you are vulnerable. You ask for someone who cares about the little things as much as the big things. You ask for someone who treats you like you are loved, because you are. Black Hills Surgical Hospital. Ask for us by name. When you ask for Black...
Making a crossing route there.
That's just an inside screen play that they do. They run a trips over there. The two guys go deep. They did it a little different version of it. They've done twice earlier in this game. This one just do it from the outside. Again, the guy just slides across the inside. You've already got linemen in front of you. You just follow them, and it's like a run play, but it's just a slide right on the inside.
So we're looking at 3rd and short now for Sioux Falls Lincoln. Blitz shown by Rapid City Stevens. That's Tate Schaefer under center. 3rd and 3. Schaefer with the long snap count. 4 seconds left on the play clock. He hands the ball to Drevin Hodge. He'll break it to the outside. He's going to be stopped just shy at about the 27-yard line. I think that's real close to a first down. Did he get it, though? We'll see.
I don't think he did. No, I think he's well short.
It is 4th down. 4th and inches.
Are they really going to go for this?
They are going to go for it. 4th and inches from the 28-yard line.
They're going to try to draw him off sides.
Schaefer, again, taking his time. We're down to 4 seconds on the shot clock. Or a shot clock. I'm thinking basketball already.
Hey, we're not even close to that.
The play clock. The play clock. And they did. They let it run down. The play clock they let run down.
That's okay. I say this every time it happens. That's not my favorite play in the world. Mm-hmm. It's got to be at the right place at the right time. That one's not such a bad idea. The reason why is because the Raiders have a tendency to jump off sides. They want to be aggressive. They want to get in there and a little less, maybe less disciplined than some other teams. And they have it. We've already seen all the penalties tonight on them. They have a tendency. So to do it in that situation, okay, I'm okay with that. Plus you're up. It's a critical situation. It's worth a gamble. It's worth using that timeout.
So the Sioux Falls Lincoln Patriots, they discuss it. Now they'll come away from the sideline. Both teams line up the line of scrimmage.
Will they dare risk a fake punt on this?
Tate Schaefer is back. He does the punting duties. All the kicking and punting duties.
Yes, and he can throw the ball, right?
There's the punt. This is Corderdoni back inside the 40-yard line. Trying to find some running room, but he had nowhere to go with the football. Maybe gets 4 yards on that return.
Yeah, so as soon as you try to start negotiating, he had a blocker there, and I think he tried to work around the blocker, but you can't. You have to pick and go, and then just take the tackle that you got. You're not going to find something that quick. It's not going to be there, and I don't think players, they try to do that. They think, big play, I can cut around, I'm quick enough, I got enough, the quickest speed, I got explosive speed. It rarely happens.
So now the Raiders have the football. They trail by 2 touchdowns. Good field position here. 1st and 10 from their own 43. On the reverse, they give it to Scott. And Scott, I thought he was going to run into some trouble. He's still on his feet. He's going to be tackled at the 45-yard line.
I'm going to tell you, the defensive end on that side did exactly what the defensive end is supposed to do. He worked upfield. So when you run plays such as that, you are ready to force that play back inside. Whether they run to your side and you force it upfield to the rest of your team, or whether you're there, staying home is what they preach to you. Stay home, stay home. If the play runs away from you, so be it. That's okay. At least you're there to protect things from coming your direction. We've got looks like a Raider down.
Injured Raider there on that far side. They're taking a look at him. Right now, the Raiders facing a 2nd and 6 from their own 47.
Is it Julian Scott? I don't see him standing there.
Head coach Michael Scott out there.
And he's just been hammered tonight. I mean, he's
taken
it
some
out.
huge shots.
He's been limping around. Yeah, he's taken some big shots and just in spots to make plays. And he's worked really hard. Definitely a gamer. he has been tonight.
So Brad Gilbert, the trainer, he is out there checking on the injured Raider.
They even brought the cart out quickly, so I'm not quite sure exactly what they saw.
Well, we will step aside while they tend to the injured Raider. Again, we have 10:05 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Sioux Falls Lincoln 31, Rapid City Stevens 17 on the State Farm scoreboard. We'll step aside for 1 minute right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Surgical Hospital. You ask for someone who believes in hospitality. You ask for someone who treats everyone like a VIP and believes the absolute best shouldn't cost more and makes you feel comfortable, even when you are vulnerable. You ask for someone who cares about the little things as much as the big things. You ask for someone who treats you like you are loved, because you are. Black Hills Surgical Hospital. Ask for us by name. When you ask for Black...
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales, Service and Detail broadcast booth, sales, service, and recreation. So after they tend to the injured Rapid City Stevens Raider player, it is now second down coming up for the Raiders. Here's Jensen out of the shotgun. He's going to throw it. Wide open is Cale Meisman. He makes the catch at the 20, down to the 10. Touchdown, Cale Meisman. A broken play. He was wide open as he takes it 53 yards for the touchdown.
I'll tell you what, I was watching the line of scrimmage to see what kind of play they ran, and then, like you said, I look out there, and 20 yards. There was not a player within 20 yards, and then as that touchdown happened, you saw the defensive back turn over to the sideline and look at his coach and saying, I don't know who was supposed to cover him.
Boy, Dean, we have a ball game. The Raiders, with the extra point attempt coming up by Parker Mesmer, they could pull within one touchdown. Here's the snap, the kick, and it is good with 9:36 to go here in the fourth quarter on the State Farm scoreboard. It's now Sioux Falls Lincoln 31 and Rapid City Stevens 24. Wow, we have a ball game.
Yeah, I wish I had instant replay to see exactly what happened. That's one of those when you're watching online or something, or you're going back later watching video on that, you back it up. Okay, what happened here? Did they just not get out there? How? That's one player that Coach Fredenberg talked about. He was like, okay, we got to make sure we match up with Scott, contain Jensen, and know where Meisman is at all times. And for some reason, there was just miscommunication. And, yeah, why I could not believe it, wide open.
He was. And, they've been trying to go deep to Cale Meisman all night. And when I saw him, the arm go back, Jed Jensen going down the right sideline, I just didn't realize how open Cale Meisman was.
I didn't either.
So, but boy, just a great second half so far as the Patriots have been held scoreless so far. The Raiders now just one touchdown away from tying this up. The defense has played well this second half. We'll see the Raider defense go to work in just a moment.
Yeah, and remember, the Raider defense held the Washington Warriors to no points in the second half.
This one is going to be kicked deep. It's going to be taken by Smith at inside the 10. He'll take it out to the 25-yard line. A gain of a little better than 15 yards by Jack Smith. So now the Raider defense comes out. They will go to work. Like we said earlier, the injured Raider was Julian Scott. They brought the cart out, if you were listening, and we paused or took a break there for the injury. But they took the cart away. Scott was able to walk off the field, which was a good sign.
Yeah, very good sign. Again, we don't know exactly what it is. I see him standing on the sideline, so makes me wonder if he's itching to get back in the game.
1st and 10, Tate Schaefer from the shotgun, from the 25-yard line. He's being pressured, gets rid of the football. Smith makes the catch. He's at the 40, the 45, into Raider territory, down the left sideline and pushed out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Smith has been so deadly. He's got to have probably over 200 yards receiving in this ball game, or be pretty close.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. The coaching staff is noticing something, and I'm trying to figure it out myself. How in the world he is getting open every time on that play? I think the Raiders they're running a zone, and so he just runs from one zone to another, and there's nobody on the underside of the zone.
There's that hurry-up offense. They'll hand the ball. This one goes to Drevin Hodge. Hodge to the left side of the line. He's going to be hit by the Raider defender right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. 2nd and 10 now for the Patriots from the Raider 33.
Because they've ran that play or a variation of that play, if I'm not mistaken, at least 4 times, if not 5.
Oh, yeah. They've ran that all night. Schaefer again from the shotgun. That's Tate Schaefer. He's the junior quarterback. Takes the snap, drops back, has some time. He rolls out to this near side, still on his feet. He's going to go out of bounds at the 35-yard line. He's going to lose a yard. Actually, he'll go out of bounds at the 34. So now 3rd and 11 coming up. But good coverage. Schaefer had to tuck and run. He had nowhere to throw the football.
Right, and I know that's been a struggle for the Raiders, who have made great adjustments here in this game to solidify that backfield.
They're going to go trips right. Again, Smith lining up over there in the slot.
And watch the underneath drag route or the out route.
Here's Schaefer now. The ball, it was a bad snap, and Schaefer's going to be sacked at the 42-yard line. The ball is loose. The Raiders jump on it. They have the football. The defense comes through once again for Rapid City Stevens.
Just absolutely incredible. Was it a bad snap? It was
a bad snap. It takes a bounce. Schaefer picks it up, and then he's in trouble at that point.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to what we talked about earlier. It hasn't really been much of an issue all night, but Elliot Renville, their all-stater, I don't know if he's an all-stater, but he's heading to Augustana to play ball. He broke his thumb. They have a new center, and I thought they've been doing well all night. I was watching the play itself, and what happens is it is a screen play. It is a pick play, rather, that they are running that creates that open player.
Here come the Raider offense now. 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Jensen from the gun. He's going to throw it down the left sideline for Cale Meisman, but he overthrows Meisman. He had his defender beat, but it's just a little too far out of the reach there of Cale Meisman.
Boy, how many of those have he missed tonight? Think of all the touchdowns they would have had. They just gets that connected. I know they probably do this, 10, 20 times in practice and, probably 4 or 5 times at least pregame just to try to get that timing down, rather just perfect.
No, he's made some great throws. He's got a great arm, but just overthrowing his receivers.
Underestimating the speed of Meisman.
Trips right now. We see a blitz coming. It's going to be false start on the Raiders. You see Cale Meisman hit his helmet at the other end there, or on the other side of the field. I think he's kind of mad at himself there.
Was it him? Or
I think it might have been.
It absolutely should never. Man, I would have my receivers doing up downs if that happened.
Yeah.
They have no reason to do it. All they have to do is watch the football. They can ignore everything else. They're not going to get, the jump that the linemen need is way different than the jump that the receivers need.
Here's Sullivan now. Or I'm sorry, not Sullivan. Jed Jensen makes a nice throw to that far side. That's going to be caught by Cale Meisman. They'll give him forward progress at the 45-yard line.
And I don't know if they just have a communication to each other, because you saw the defender this time probably 15 yards off of Meisman. If Meisman knows, hey, that guy's that far off, I'm running a hitch route. If he is playing me 5 yards off, I'm running a go route.
7:50 remaining.
What he can do is he can run a post route.
31-24. They'll go trips right, one receiver to the left.
No safety help over there at all.
3rd and 4.
No.
we had some movement. It looks like they're going to get Nash Sobzak. False start against the Raiders. 3rd and 4 is going to turn into 3rd and 9 as they move the ball back to the 40-yard line. Ball on the Raider 40. You don't want to give the ball back,
right.
Back to the Patriots. You trail 31-24 on the State Farm scoreboard. Again, they're going to go trips right, one receiver to the left.
Move to safety over to the other side now.
Here's Jensen now. He's going to make the throw right at midfield there.
He's got that first
he
down.
Has the first down in Patriot territory.
So he just can't. He's limping somewhat. You see him come off. He came off hard. The defender backed up. He did just a stop route right at the sticks. Knew where they were at. The ball was thrown right underneath. All he had to do was cradle it and make the catch, and he did just that.
So a new set of downs coming up for the Raiders. This time they overload that right side. You're going to have 4 wide receivers, empty backfield with 1 receiver to the left. Jensen drops back. Again, another throw to Cale Meisman, but it's incomplete. It was a low throw, and when you're 6'4", it's tough to corral a pass like that.
Yeah, that's a long way down. But again, he's got to make that throw. It can't be high. It's got to be mid-level, and it's okay if it's a little low. I think it was just a little too low.
6:54 remaining. The clock is stopped. 2nd and 10 for the Raiders on the Patriot 49. A chance to tie this ball game as they trail 31-24 to the 5th-ranked Sioux Falls Lincoln Patriots.
So he needs a post corner route right here would be perfect. Now we got to take a timeout. That's their 3rd timeout, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it is, but the Raiders offensively just looked confused at where they wanted to line up. They had players running back and forth.
Back to our keys of the game. The mental mistakes, the false start type things are still plaguing them, and not knowing what the play is to get in the right position, not knowing your formation. Oh, that's so frustrating as a coach. It's not like this is the first game. Okay, it's we're our 5th game into the year, 6th game into the year. For these teams, they need to know the plays, and they need to know where to be for these particular times right here. Now they've had to burn 3 timeouts.
So the Raiders are out of timeouts, while Sioux Falls Lincoln does have 2 timeouts remaining.
I kind of thought the way they lined up, like I was saying, if they could, because they have the Patriots have a second safety over here. If they could run a post corner, he can come off, he can do that post. He'll get the safety to bite down and then bury his foot and ditch back to the corner route. That play would be wide open if they can get that isolation play.
And the Raiders at 2nd and 10 from the 49-yard line of the Patriots. Jed Jensen will go from the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Jensen drops back. He's going to air it out for Julian Scott. Scott was pushed, and there's a penalty marker as Scott turned back to try to make a play on the ball, and he was pushed by the defender.
Wow, that was a risky throw. That safety actually was slightly late getting over there, so the cornerback, I don't know if he knew that or not, but either way, caused that pass interference play. But Julian Scott isn't running as well. Neither one of the receivers are of the, quote, the go-to receivers. Meisman or Scott are either running super well. They're both hobbled a little bit as they run those routes. Where's Beck Morgan?
I know. Yeah. Of course, we know Julian. It was good to see Julian Scott out there after he was injured and needed help off the field, or was able to walk off, but he was down for a little bit. But it's good to see him back out there. So that's going to be a first down for the Raiders as they move the ball to the 34-yard line, I'm sorry.
And the closer they get in, I think the Raiders struggle the closer they're in. I think if they could score from out here, I think because the field is spread out a bit more, it gives them more opportunities to run around and, make plays where they need to and settle in spots.
Beck Morgan lined up in the slot. Jensen is hit as he makes the throw. Is it caught by Scott on that far side? It's incomplete, but
it went over his hands.
The pressure was on Jed Jensen as he was hit as he made that throw. Incomplete, 2nd and 10 now for the Raiders. Again from the Patriot 34. 6:42 to go in this contest, and the Raiders trail by 1 score.
You know, we've seen some intentional runs by Jensen where he's done a pretty good job. But in general, I think the Patriots have done a fairly good job of keeping Jensen corralled on those pass plays.
Trips right, 1 receiver to the
pressure.
left. Jensen escapes the pocket. He's going to throw it for the end zone for Cale Meisman. Meisman tried to make the catch, but he just ran out of real estate. He was in the back of the end zone and nowhere else to go with and try to make that catch.
Yeah, absolutely. That if that play happened a split second sooner, he could have hit him in the right spot because he had the step on the defender. But, again, he's being chased to his left. Now he's got to try to make a throw from his off foot, and he's got to contort his body. And that is just a tough throw to make with accuracy.
Again, a big 3rd down coming up here for the Raiders on the 34-yard line of the Patriots. We're looking at 3rd and 10. Dropping back is Jensen from the gun. Throws down the middle of the field for Beck Morgan. But Beck couldn't haul it in. It's incomplete. And now the Raiders forced to go for it here on 4th down. They trail by a touchdown.
Yeah, definitely going for it. That's a great play call. We talked about the fact that safeties, the way they were sitting back there, that if you just ran a little post route right in there, you could go right in the middle of the defense, and that would be there. And like I said, Beck Morgan just not able to haul it in. He had a step on the defender heading in.
They're going to go spread offense now, 4 wide. Jed Jensen on 4th down. 4th and 10 from the 34. Takes the snap out of the gun. Pump fakes, and now he's going to air it for Meisman down the left sideline. Meisman makes the catch. He's in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Cale Meisman.
And
a 34-yard touchdown strike.
You saw the pre-snap signal between Jensen and Meisman. He made a signal. I don't know what it was, but he made a hand signal. What it means to him, whatever it is, Meisman just did that fly route, and obviously the timing, they got it down this time, dropped it right into the breadbasket.
34-yard touchdown strike, and a chance now for the Raiders to tie this game. Here's Parker Mesmer with the extra point attempt. There's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and this one is good. At one point, the Raiders trailed by a score of 31-10, and now with 6:22 to go on the State Farm scoreboard, we are tied at 31 apiece. Wow.
Yeah, 21 unanswered points. Everything's coming together. They've overcome their mistakes. We saw right in there. We're like, okay, false start. What's going to happen? We knew this could quickly go south, as it did in the first half, but they've overcome those. It's like they're hurdling their own hurdles, trying to get where they need to, plus playing the number 5 team in AAA, but 21 unanswered points. The defense is stepping up, making plays. Can they carry this momentum? You know that the Patriots are going to come out. They're going to run the football. They're going to mix up their offense. They're going to hit Jack Smith over that drag route right across the middle, that kind of middle screen. And we haven't heard much from Sam Hinbergen, but I would imagine that he's going to be a part of this as well.
Absolutely. If you're here for the homecoming game, you're getting a treat here tonight as the Raider football team just playing their hearts out tonight. After trailing down by 21 points, they've rattled off 21 unanswered points. And here comes the kickoff by Parker Mesmer. There's the kick. This is going to be Jack Smith at the 4-yard line. Out to the 10, the 15, the 20. And he's going to be grabbed from behind and tackled at the 20-yard line.
It kind of befuddles me. 4th and what they had, what was it, like 4th and 10 was that play. And you've got a defensive back who is playing way back. how does a guy run past you for a touchdown? I mean, he wasn't playing that far back, probably not as far back as he probably should have, but you saw the signal, and he just knew to run a streak, and you're like, you're there. You have at least a 5 to 7 yard head start on him. How does the guy run by you?
Again, they'll hand the ball off. This goes to...
It was a great misdirection play that the Raiders sniffed out right away, getting penetration right up the middle.
Drevin Hodge, I believe, was your ball carrier. He is stopped after a 2-yard gain. We're looking at actually a 1-yard gain. So 2nd and 9 coming up. Again on the 22-yard line. Schaefer rolls out, gets the ball. It goes to Connor Gray. He makes that catch on that far sideline. He's short of a first down. It was a nice pickup.
Yeah, it was. Doney made a nice tackle, good open field. You need that. Hey, they're going to catch the ball in front of you. Great. Make sure you get that solidified tackle.
Again, both teams coming into this ball game, they're 2-3. Both teams riding a 3-game losing streak. And both teams just playing hard here tonight, trying to break that.
The Patriots are a little bit mixed up at what they want. Jack Smith was looking over, then he would take a step, he looked over, took another step, and didn't know, and now coach has to call a timeout.
Patriots now have 1 timeout remaining on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agent Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. 5:17 to go in the 4th quarter, and we are tied at 31 apiece between Rapid City Stevens and Sioux Falls Lincoln. We'll step aside for 30 seconds right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City and foxsportsrapidcity.com, as well as GoRaidersLive.com.
We all want to be.
Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet buys cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at rapidchevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City. Danny.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. With Dean Gurr, I'm Jerome Wickersham. Sioux Falls Lincoln facing a 3rd and 3. On the quarterback keeper, straight ahead was Tate Schaefer, but he did. He looked like he got clotheslined out there.
Yeah, absolutely. He fell forward, and then the defender, boy, you hate to see that. When you're falling forward, and then the defender comes out on you and hits you square and bends you backwards, and you can see he is not.
He was helped up by the official.
Good. Not feeling it, and they're short. They are short. That was just a tremendous hit. I wish I got the number on that Mack truck.
Oh, and like you said, too, you hate to see someone bent backwards like that.
And he's the punter, too, so he's coming in. I think he's going to shake it off well, but he's not moving gracefully at the moment.
They needed, like 3 yards? They come up but just a yard short. So you have Corder Doney back deep, and now a penalty flag, and that's going to be a delay of game against Sioux Falls Lincoln.
And I'm thinking they need to get another punter in here. He's taking short, choppy steps. That means his back is hurting.
He is staying out there.
He's a ball player, so he'll stay out there. He's not going to come out. The coach has got to bring him out.
4:29 remaining. 31-31 is your score. Here's Schaefer with the punt. Corder Doney at the 40-yard line of the Raiders. Makes the catch, and he's going to be hit immediately. Did not call for the fair catch, and he was leveled back there at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, a nice high punt that gives you you're not going to get the distance maybe you're looking for, but it gives your chance your team to get downfield and not allow a return.
So the Raider defense holds once again. They have held the Patriots scoreless in this second half. The Raider offense has rattled off 21 straight points. Can they do it again to try to get the victory here tonight?
It's funny because they're more designed of a scoring team, a big scoring team, rather than just a clock chewing team.
It's 1st and 10 for the Raiders from the 38. They give the ball to Luke Hansen right up the middle. And they're going to say that he was down at the 40-yard line, just a gain of 2. So we're looking at 2nd and 8 from the Raider 40. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Jensen from the shotgun. And we had a player move. That was Hansen.
Yeah. Well, the lineman, I think the left guard or the left tackle moved as well. Just,
so a 5-yard penalty there.
Hurts.
3:48 remaining.
Apparently Jensen has a commanding enough voice he can even make his own players move.
And now the Raiders 2nd and 13. Jensen with the snap. Out of the pocket. He's going to tuck and run. Gets to the outside. Cuts back to the 40. He's still on his feet. On the 45, the 50. Into Sioux Falls Lincoln territory. At the 40, the 35. As he tries to make a cut, he's going to be stopped at the 35-yard line. But a nice run there by Jet Jensen, who's had to use his feet here in the second half.
He was absolutely not going to go out of bounds. Cale Meisman did a great block right in front of him. He's got it around between the 50 and the 45 here. As he skirted out of bounds, you're thinking, he's just going to step out. But instead, Meisman had a block, shoved his guy out of the way, and he went around Meisman and cut back in and got more yards.
A 29-yard run that time by Jed Jensen. And now the Raiders in business on the Lincoln 36-yard line. They'll go 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Julian Scott in the slot, dropping back from the gun. Here's Jensen now. He's going to air it down the left side. There's a flag on the
they're
play.
Holding all over the place. And who's it going to be on? They were literally standing there hand fighting at about the 23-yard line. They were hand fighting. You saw Jensen. He looked that way, then he looked the other way, then he looked that way again and threw it, and they were just grabbing each other.
It was Beck Morgan, the intended receiver.
And so, so they're going to have to talk about this because it was...
It is pass interference against the Patriots.
It was right near the 25 and then again down by the 10-yard line.
So they'll mark off the 15-yard penalty. They'll mark it down to the 22-yard line. And the Raiders will have the first down.
So it's holding instead of pass interference because it's only a 10-yard penalty.
Oh, okay. Down to the 22. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Down to the final 3 minutes of this ball game. Raiders trying to go on top. There's the reverse, and Scott is hit in the backfield. They've tried that a couple times tonight, and that time it did not fool the defense.
Yeah, the defensive ends are getting such good penetration, even when they don't run that play. They're just the penetration they're getting around the outside is just not conducive for that play to happen. And it's been snuffed out. I think that's probably the 3rd time tonight they've snuffed it out.
And the Raiders trying to get the win. They have not defeated Sioux Falls Lincoln since 2017. Here's Jensen now. Throws to the left side.
Incomplete.
It is incomplete. Trying to come back for it was Cale Meisman. And he is limping a little bit, but he is. We've seen him limping, and the next thing you know, he's sprinting down the sideline.
Yeah, you get that adrenaline going, and you try to work with it, and that may be one of the reasons why Jensen's overthrowing. He's expecting him to be where he needs to be, but between him and Julian Scott, they have both just, been hit, and their legs are just not quite as full speed as they're hoping for.
2 minutes and 21 seconds remaining. We're looking at 3rd and long coming up. Here's Jensen again out of the shotgun. He's being pressured, and he's going to be ankle tackled at the 33-yard line. Raiders were facing a 3rd and 20, and he is sacked back at the 33.
And now they have a decision. Are they going to go for a field goal here?
And it looks like Parker Mesmer coming out.
And they have to get on there. They have to get set up because they don't have a timeout.
The Raiders going to try to take the lead. It's just inside 50 yards. It's like 49 and a half yards.
Jensen is the holder.
For the lead. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is up.
Close.
And it is no
It
good.
was to the left, yep. It had a decent distance, but you could kind of see it hooking left.
That was for the lead. The Raiders trying to take the lead with a minute 33. And that one, again, just wide left from 49 yards.
And again, now their defense has got to come up with a big stop here. I see a heavy dose of Jack Smith coming right here.
31-31 is your score. A minute 33 to go in this contest. The Raiders have scored 21 unanswered points, and now their defense going to work once again. They'll get the ball. It goes to, no, it's incomplete. I think they intended for Connor Gray on the sideline.
Yeah, it was. It was Gray did the out route here. We had Smith going a little bit deeper. The Raiders actually had the coverage on there.
So 2nd and 10 now from the 20-yard line. That's the Patriot 20.
They're going cover 2, and they had the trips on this side, but they're going to the other side.
Here's Schaefer. He drops back. He's going to throw it up, and in fact, he was trying to get it down to his receiver down the sideline, but a Raider defender was the closest person to the football.
Right, exactly. That's where cover 2 comes in. You've got the underneath. That's what they didn't do earlier in this game. They didn't do it last week. You've got Underbrenner underneath. Does that make sense? Underbrenner underneath. And then over the top is Hayden Gebhardt. And like I said, that was a risky throw. Gebhardt, if he plays that a little bit better and scoots over, he might have had a pick.
A minute 26 to go. It's 3rd and 10 coming up for the Patriots. Schaefer finds his receiver. That's Smith, and I think he had the first, or he gets the first down.
He knows exactly where to go for the sticks.
So they will stop the clock there with a minute 20 to go. That'll move the chains, and the ball's on the Patriot 32-yard line. It was 31-10 at halftime. The Patriots have not scored in this second half. Here's Tate Schaefer again from the shotgun. He'll drop back, look to his left, gets the ball to Smith. Smith is going to be wrapped up immediately. They'll give him forward progress to the 34-yard line. That's only a gain of 2.
Yeah, nice job, Lucas Canta. Again, we've talked about how hard Smith is to bring down Canta. Just doing wraps, say, it's okay, let him catch it, bring him down in bounds.
Dropping back is Schaefer again on 2nd and 8. Gets rid of the football. Smith makes the catch in Raider territory, goes out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
He probably had an opportunity to actually turn upfield, but he didn't realize where the defender was behind him, and he just ran out of bounds and stopped the clock, got the first down. Good, smart play there.
1st and 10 from the Raider 48. 55 seconds remaining. We're tied at 31. Schaefer from the shotgun. He's looking for Smith once again.
Yep.
Smith makes the catch. He goes out of bounds at the 39-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 9 yards. We're looking at 2nd and 1.
Just chipping away. Just to at least try to get into field goal range. Again, Tate Schaefer is your field goal kicker.
Clock is stopped at 50 seconds. We've seen Schaefer hit from 39 yards. He's going to make the throw. And I think it fell incomplete that time. They tried to get it to Jack Smith along the left sideline.
Low snap. He had to pick it up off the carpet. Is it called carpet anymore? It used
carpet,
to. When you had that AstroTurf, it was
ground.
Yeah.
3rd and 1 now for the Sioux Falls Lincoln Patriots. Only 3 seconds ran off the clock. We're at 47. Schaefer again from the shotgun. They go 2 receivers to the left. Quarterback keeper, and Schaefer's going to be tackled as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. A big 4th down coming up now for Sioux Falls Lincoln.
You could see the Raiders coming with a blitz that time. Gideon Waldrop was the man who got in the backfield as Schaefer looked like he was going to step away, and instead he got him. Now they're going to keep him from jumping.
Here's Schaefer now. Gets the ball to Connor Gray. He's going down the left sidelines. Stayed in bounds. Or did he go out of bounds?
Nope, he stayed in bounds and just fell.
The ball is down to the 20-yard line.
It'll stop for the moment while they move the sticks. Oh, there was a
penalty flag there
I
at
think
the
it was.
40-yard
I
line.
think it was offsides on the Raiders. There was a guy lined up in the neutral zone on this near side is what I saw, and that's going to be a big call here for Alan Olson and his crew.
The ball is down at the 20-yard line of the Raiders. 21 seconds remaining.
I think they're going to decline the penalty. And they're going to talk about it here for a second, but I think they're going to decline the penalty because they got more yards than where it was at.
Alan Olson and Paul Whitcraft discussing it on that far side.
They're going to wave it off.
They are going to wave off the flag. So 1st and 10 with 21 seconds remaining. The Patriots have one timeout. We're tied at 31 apiece. They're on the Raider 20. Here's Tate Schaefer now from the shotgun. Rolls out to his left. He's hit as he throws. It is incomplete as he was pressured by number 5. That is Bryce Swanson.
Yeah, there was a whole host of Raiders coming in. The swords were flying. They were ready to take some booty. Or I guess it's called bounty. I guess is probably the better one.
.16 seconds remaining now. We're looking at 2nd and 10. Schaefer drops back. He's going to make the throw, but it's incomplete again. I'm not sure if it was tipped that time, but it was well underthrown and intended for Jack Smith.
Yeah, it definitely was. You know, you just know they're coming that way.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me wonder, where is Sam Hinderburgen? Is he not in the game?
He is not in the game. Number 9.
He is. He is the fullback.
He's the fullback there.
Just sneak him out.
Schaefer again drops back, throws for the end zone. It's up for grabs, and it's incomplete.
Great defense that time, floating out to the ball just in the air. They're thinking Jack Smith's going to go up and get it. Probably very reliable normally when he gets it, but the Raiders, they're zeroing in on it. You knew that was going to happen. He's been targeted probably, 8 times this drive alone?
So 8 seconds remaining, and Tate Schaefer is going to go for the...
They're going to take their timeout here.
Timeout.
The Raiders need to talk here, too. They need to put the speedy guys on the outside, and they need to say right now, do not jump. Do not give them that free 5 yards and have them try it 5 yards closer.
It could be a possible game-winning field goal right here by Tate Schaefer. He's already connected from 39 yards.
This is setting up to be a, 20, is this a 39-yarder as well?
About a 39-yard once again. The ball is on the 20.
But did he miss earlier? I think he went wide right earlier, or am I thinking of the other game? There was one.
There was one, I think. That was...
I don't know if it was the first game.
The first game, I think.
Get my games all mixed up.
Of course, our doubleheader tonight. So he'll be kicking from the 30 or the 28-yard line.
On the left hash mark.
So a 38-yard field goal to take the lead and the possible win. Here's Tate Schaefer. There's the snap. There's the hold. The kick is up.
It's good.
And it is no good. It's no good. It's wide left.
Did it go? It looked like it cut right inside the upright.
It looked good from our angle, but it's wide left. And so a chance to take the lead, and Tate Schaefer misses a 38-yard field goal.
Wow. It looked like it was going to cut right into that right upright, but instead it went outside of it.
It did. You're just waiting for that word from the officials,
right.
And next thing you know, they're waving it off.
I saw the Raider player was jumping up and down because of the miss.
So now the Raiders have one play. They have 4 seconds remaining. They'll be 1st and 10 on their own 20. Of course, a prevent defense by Sioux Falls Lincoln.
Yeah, and they got to talk. Look, if you throw an interception,
they'll just give it to Hansen. Hansen with the football has some blockers in front of him. He's at the 30, still on his feet. The 35, and finally tackled and forced out of bounds at the 40-yard line. That's going to do it. That's the end of regulation. and we are heading to overtime.
Man, we haven't seen this since, week one, triple overtime.
We had a triple overtime game when Rapid City Christian played Lead Deadwood. Well, you're going to get bonus football here tonight because, again, at the end of regulation on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick, we are tied at 31 apiece between Rapid City Stevens and Sioux Falls Lincoln. We're back with overtime when we return in 30 seconds right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City and foxsportsrapidcity.com.
Rapid Chevrolet.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Football season, and what a night it has been for high school football. Rapid City Stevens and Sioux Falls Lincoln going into overtime after trailing by 21 points. The Raiders come back in the second half. They tie it, and now we get set for OT.
Boy, and right on the edge, the Raiders had a chance to win it with their field goal. The Patriots had a chance to win it with their field goal, and two teams just slugging it out. You love to see that, and I honestly think the Patriots are a little bit stymied. I think the way they handled that second quarter kind of took care of things. I think they kind of thought, hey, we got this, no big deal. We're solid. We played O'Gorman super well last week. Just fell by a touchdown. I definitely preseason top 5 they were. Got to think of what they were. Brandon Valley was number 1. Lincoln might have been 2 preseason. Number 2.
Mm-hmm. They were holding. They were pretty high in the rankings.
I remember Jefferson was 3 and Brandon Valley was 1. So usually when you get this, you usually take the defense first if you win the toss.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other team gets to choose the end in which you want to go on.
Still a good crowd over there. Of course, this is homecoming.
Yeah.
I believe the Raider homecoming dance is tomorrow night. It obviously would be too late tonight for a dance. So the Raider homecoming dance tomorrow night. But
maybe they moved it somewhere. They were having some issues somewhere, so I think they moved it. I had heard that somewhere, but don't quote me on it. I can barely keep track of football, much less homecoming dances.
Just a great night of football here at O'Hara Stadium. Love Friday nights. So the Raiders will have the ball on offense first. Here they come out from their huddle. Both of these teams are riding 3-game losing streaks. The Raiders and the Sioux Falls Lincoln Patriots, both teams would love to have that victory here tonight. Again, 1st and goal from the 10. That's where each team starts. Here's Jensen now, follows his blockers to the left side as they go from right to left. He's tripped up and sacked back at the 19-yard line.
Just great penetration to that side. They go twins right, and they decide to see if they can catch the Patriots off guard, but great penetration. He had one lead blocker. He had some linemen pulling out, but by the time the linemen got out there in front of the play, the penetration on the left side of the Raider formation was just in the backfield, and Jensen just tried to get around it and couldn't.
So the Raiders now 2nd and goal from the 18-yard line is where they will spot the football. Again, this is overtime right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. There's the pass down the middle of the field. Cale Meisman, again, almost made a great catch there, but he was hit from behind. It was broken up there by the defenders.
It was actually Jack Smith who was playing defense on that one and made the hit. I don't know that he normally plays defense, but he's out there as a little extra cover guy, and he's the one with the big hit on Meisman. The timing was perfect. I mean, the ball and the defense all arrived at the same time.
So now a big third down coming up. Jensen comes in after getting the play from the sideline. They're down to 9 seconds, though, on the play clock. 5 seconds now.
And now they got to call a timeout.
They do.
Because they are not lined up in the right formation. We saw that earlier. They had to burn a timeout and potentially cost them a game there. Now they got to do it again.
So we're in overtime, tied at 31 apiece between Rapid City Stevens and Sioux Falls Lincoln.
They're going to throw the ball. They're going to look for matchups. There's some sort of communication between Jensen and his receivers, whether they're going to isolate Meisman on one side or run, crossing routes. It's going to be something like that.
Again, both teams still in their huddle, taking their time here.
Definitely not the way the Raiders wanted to start it. That play is, you put the ball in your best player's hands. Obviously, Jensen, by all accounts, is probably the most athletic player out there. He can just make plays when he needs to. It was a good call, but the Patriots just sniffed it out really quickly. Meisman is wide. Where is he at? He's wide right.
Wide right. They put 3 trips left, one receiver to the
They think
right.
they're going that way. You see the coaches throw arms out there signaling it.
Jensen's going to keep the football himself. He's heading for the end zone, and he's going to be stopped inside the 5-yard line, tackled at the 4, and now it's going to be 4th down coming up for the Raiders. 4th and goal from the 4.
They got to kick. Yep, they got to kick the field goal. You need the points.
Parker Mesmer comes out. Again, he had an earlier field goal of 38 yards. He missed a chance for the Raiders to take the lead, but that was on a long 49-yard field goal attempt. This one is going to be a 21-yard field goal attempt for the lead. There's the kick. And this one is good. The Raiders take the lead 34-31 in overtime after a 21-yard field goal by Parker Mesmer.
Wow, and, they haven't led since that opening drive of the game where they just marched down the field like they owned the place. And, how about them fighting back again? Second half, rather. I know overtime is an extension of the second half, but second half, they have just been stout on defense. They did it against Washington. They've done it here tonight.
Can the defense come up with the win tonight for the Raiders now?
And this, again, you're looking at Jack Smith here. He's lined up wide right.
He's going to have one receiver to the left.
Watch that drag route right across the middle. They ran it before. We'll see if the Raiders have picked up on it.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. That's Isaac Carrazzo, single coverage on the left. Here's Tate Schaefer from the shotgun. 1st and goal, dropping back, lobs it over the middle. It's the big tight end with the catch. He's in for the touchdown, and that's the ball game. It is Sam Hindbergen.
Yep, exactly. We said he hasn't shown up at all in the second half, and they just did a middle screen. He just turns around and grabs it and just waltzes right in, hardly even touched.
So a heartbreaking loss for Rapid City Stevens on a touchdown pass to Sam Hindbergen. And Sioux Falls Lincoln gets the win in overtime tonight, the final. Sioux Falls Lincoln 37, Rapid City Stevens 34. Again, this game in overtime, and that spoils the homecoming for Rapid City Stevens. But what an effort tonight. I don't think you can say enough about how hard the Raiders fought tonight.
Oh, yeah, to come all the way back, like you said, down 3 scores in the second half, and to come all the way back, both sides of the ball, defensively, offensively, just making plays all over the place. They got to keep their heads high on this one. Definitely, worth it. Obviously, they needed that win for a much better seeding, but going into, they got Jefferson next week, and then the week after that, they've got Roosevelt in Sioux Falls. Man, I don't know what to say. Their spirits, it's a heartbreaker, but you got to have some high spirits to know that, guys, when we play like we can, guess who we can play with? This is a solid Lincoln team. They are very solid. They're not, on the bottom. They are number 5. They're number 5 for a reason. And so they got to at least, like moral victories, but you got to be able to walk away with some confidence that you played your hearts out.
And I think they did just that. Again, on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by Agent Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick, in overtime, the final score, Sioux Falls Lincoln 37 and Rapid City Stevens 34. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with our post-game show in 1 minute right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City and foxsportsrapidcity.com.
Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet buys cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at rapidchevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City.
You're doing a lot. Maybe you're starting a family, building a home, growing a business. Security First Bank knows your life is constantly changing. And while our commitment remains constant, we're changing too, with tools, technology, and new products from people you trust. For all the ways you're changing and all the things you're doing, we're the bank. Security First Bank. Member FDIC.
Your first car. It might not have been perfect, but that didn't matter. You loved it because you worked hard for it. You took care of it, and it took care of you, your friends, and maybe that someone special. And through it all, we were there working with you, for you, to make sure it was a smooth ride. Farmers Union Insurance. More choices, great rates, local agents. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
When you ask for Black Hills Surgical Hospital, you ask for someone who believes in hospitality. You ask for someone who treats everyone like a VIP and believes the absolute best shouldn't cost more and makes you feel comfortable, even when you are vulnerable. You ask for someone who cares about the little things as much as the big things. You ask for someone who treats you like you are loved, because you are. Black Hills Surgical Hospital. Ask for us by name.
Honda True. Discover 3 tiers of vehicle coverage that work for you. Only at Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda. The inspection is just the beginning. Honda certified pre-owned means peace of mind with incredible benefits like 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage, up to 2 complimentary oil changes, 24/7 roadside assistance, inspection report, and 3-day exchange option. Check out all the benefits and search inventory at honda-true.com or come by Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda in Rapid City.
How do we solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems? Our doctors and specialists collaborate, sharing their vast knowledge and Mayo Clinic's unique expertise. It's this working together that helps solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems. Monument Health, proud member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer from Denny Menholt Toyota. Use your phone, it's fast and easy. Pull up our website, click on Value Trade-In, scan your VIN, and tell us about your car. You are on your way to a no-hassle, no-commitment cash offer on your vehicle in under 5 minutes. Bring your vehicle and your Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer to Denny Menholt Toyota. See you soon at Denny Menholt Toyota, Rapid City.